It's time for the Shibuyas. The Shibuyas. Who's ready for more craziness? Who is ready? What up, Queen Cheese? Make sure I'll tab into the correct thing. Osawa. We got person. I'm still sneezy, but I got a smoothie, so we good. Rudeness, what up, Fiona? Ooh, we got Ranmaru. Actually, thank you. All right. Who do we even start on? There's so much craziness already happening. Also, like, looking in the camera, it looks like my nose just started, like, gushing blood. I don't know why. What up, Sparky? So let's go over what we're going to be seeing in each person. Maria? Yeah, we should probably start with Maria. Oh, you did, David? Yeah, we're trying to only play. I'm starting to play it only on the weekends. But how's it going, David? I hope you're doing better, by the way. I saw what happened, and but I cannot. I have no words, man. No words. All right, we'll play as Maria. Getting rid of the suit. No, the thumbnail is correct. It just. Wait. You actually might be right. I might have picked 7. It should be correct now. It just, YouTube takes a while to upload stuff. No worries, man. No worries. What is this game? This is a real action or real motion video. I don't know what it's called. What up, Puggeezy? Good morning. But it's a visual novel. Live action, that's the word I'm looking for. So we're gonna be playing as Maria. Yeah, I knew it was a visual novel. It's like live action is what it is. The sales clerk continues to stare at me. You know, you look really familiar, he says. Huh? Really? I perk up at that. Maybe I could find out something about who I am. Yeah, totally. You totally look like some pop singer or TV personality. I just can't remember who. Hey, what up, Caitlin? How's it going? Oh, that's what you meant. My shoulders slump in disappointment. Look, if you're trying to flatter me, how about a discount on the necklace? Sure, okay. I mean, it's just something I picked up off the side of the road. Oh, ho. The sales clerk stammers for a moment. Okay, how about I take off 10,000, 30,000, and it's yours. You mean it? That perks me right back up. Hey, Happy Squid, how's it going? Guess I'm easy to please. Get your mind out of the gutter. That's not what she means, and you know it. But look how cute she looks. She's so happy. She's so adorable. Bye, Puggeezy. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take it easy. Sure, you might look like you need to buy some new clothes too. He points to my sweater. Oh, it's ripped. There's a tiny tear in the left shoulder. So, what do you want to do about the cat? The sales clerk adds. Want me to dispose of it for you? He gestures at my costume with his jaw. Oh, right. What should I do? I feel a little guilty about asking him to go out of his way for me more than he has already. Maybe I should deal with it myself. He obviously wants to help me. Maybe as well have him get rid of the costume too. Get rid of the costume. He obviously wants to help me. What up, Baba? How's it going? May as well have him get rid of the costume too. Sure, if you don't mind, I say. I pay him the 30,000 yen, take the necklace, and leave the knick-knack shop. I hope that has no repercussions. Sega! Why is Sega in this game? I'm so confused. For those who also don't know, for those who are catching up, by the way, We found out that inside Tama, the cat, is Maria, the missing girl, who is Hitomi's sister. So things are slowly starting to go together. A few minutes later, near the station, I spot a sort of mall. Checking the directory by the entrance, I see that it's got several clothing shops and an arcade inside. They probably sell shirts in here. I hurry on inside. Gotta go fast! Gotta go faster, 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 faster. Oh, look at games. The interior of the building is like a twisting maze of corridors, all of them overflowing with people. I take the escalator to the second floor and find myself amidst a row of arcade games. I was trying to get to the fashion area, but I must have gone the wrong way. What?
Excuse me. You haven't seen a lost little girl, have you?
That's Toyama, the guy who tried killing himself. I turned to see a miserable-looking middle-aged man peering at me anxiously. Teruo Toyama. He got separated from his daughter Hama while running from debt collectors. He's on edge, worried that the men who are after him might take Hana hostage.
Have you seen her? A little girl about 10 years old.
A girl around 10? Have I seen her? What's her name?
Hana Toyama.
Hana? Oh, that's a pretty name.
So, she's about a year tall.
The man launches into a rapid-fire explanation describing the girl's features, hair, and clothes. What up, Final? Wait, I thought it said Final. It's Fiona. Oh, bye, it's Fiona. Take it easy. I'm confused. Brain. Oh, no, sir! Oh, Kaviki's song. Gosh, literally, I got up, petted my dog, and immediately started dying. It's great.
I got separated from her around such a guy. She likes this place, so I thought maybe she'd come here.
Such a guy? That's right, now I remember. This is the guy I bumped into earlier in the afternoon while I was racing around in the cat costume. He got separated from his daughter? Yikes, if she did come here, it's not going to be easy to find her in the midst of the crowds. Are you sure she didn't go back home, I ask?
Well, there's this problem,
he mutters. Hi, Cassie, how's it going?
Going home isn't an option.
Well, that's not really an explanation.
Sorry to bother you, I'll look around a bit more.
With that, Hana's father disappears into the crowd. I leave the arcade and head for the fashion area. Mr. Yanagishita. I bump into Mr. Yanagishita in a hallway lined with photo booths. Huh? Boss? What's he doing in a place like this?
Oh, Tama, you're out of the suit!
For some reason, he's got a bunch of magazines strewn across the floor. Yeah, finally managed to get it off.
That's good. I wish you could have been at the sales demo without your face hidden away.
What are you doing? You mentioned something about Creek earlier. Are you going on a trip?
Yeah, I was, but then I remembered something important. I got motion sickness, something fierce.
He sounded kind of proud of himself.
So yeah, no trips for me. Heck, I don't even want to think about that now.
Did this guy lose his pants earlier? And there's debt collectors following him? What is he doing here? What about the money you owe? I ask, curious.
Well, as it happens, I think I may have found my solution.
He brings a hand to his mouth and giggles.
Right here! I found a great way to make a killing!
To earn a lot of money, usually in a very short time, and or with little effort. The phrase originated in the 19th century in reference to hunters who were paid based on the numbers of kills they made. Bounty hunting. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. He opens a magazine he's holding to reveal a scratch card with a potential 100,000 yen prize.
You just gotta scratch off one of these to win 100,000 yen! All I need is 30 of them and my debt's squared away! Each magazine I can nab is more money for me!
Despite his enthusiasm, his story doesn't quite add up. Are those scratch cards guaranteed to win?
No, of course not. It's a lottery sort of thing.
Well, then having 30 copies of the magazine is hardly a foolproof solution. Yo, she's breaking the fourth wall. She's staring right at us. She's just chilling. Quite the opposite, in fact, but I held my tongue. Okay, then, now that my goodness of fortune Tama's here, let's hurry and scratch these suckers off. Yanagishita begins fervently scratching away at the first card with a coin. I love scratch cards. Scratch cards are great.
Oh, that one's a loser.
Maybe the next one. Nope, that's a loser too. Damn it! So this one. In a spectacular display, he scratches off one losing card after another. Sounds about right, the scratch cards. Soon he's down to just one last magazine. You're not a very lucky person, are you?
Oh, please don't say that.
Mr. Yanagishita looks like he's on the verge of tears. I stare at one of the losing scratch cards. You know, if you could just see the symbols through the card, you'd win for sure, I say jokingly. I hold the card up to the light. When I do, I really can see the symbols through the card. Boss, I think I might have just... Shh! He interrupts me before I can share my shocking discovery. I look at him in surprise. Mr. Yanagashita has gone all pale.
Quiet, Tama! Those guys are here!
He shoves me to a photo booth. Those guys?
The debt collectors, he hisses.
They just do not give up! He clutches the side of his head. There's a dog. Peeking out of the booth, I spot a pair of men who look pretty rough around the edges. Is it those two?
Shh, not so loud!
The men are looking around, and they're getting closer and closer. What do I do?
Oh, what do I do?
Mr. Yanagashita starts getting panicky.
Tama, what do I do?
I have no idea.
Oh, this is not good, this is not good,
Mr. Yanagashita whispers. Caitlin, I'm sorry, but Etz is about to get, like, destroyed here in a bit. Getting involved with those thugs strikes me as a bad idea. I pretend not to know Yanagashita and run off. This guy gave me a job, so I kinda owe him. I look around for a better place for the two of us to hide. Well, these are some options. Do we just leave him? Or do we save him? I don't know. We could just... I feel like leaving him is the best option. But Caitlin would get mad. I feel like Caitlin would get mad if we leave him. So I can't leave him just yet. This guy gave me a job, so I kind of owe him. I look around for a better place for the two of us to hide. Unfortunately, I don't really see anywhere that might work. We might be safest staying right where we are. Just stay nice and still and we'll be fine, I whisper.
Yeah, you're probably right.
He's got shoes now for some reason. The curtain is drawn so people can't see inside, but just to keep up appearances, we start taking photos as if we're normal customers.
I really hope they don't look in here, Mr. Yanagashita murmurs. What do we do if they find us?
They won't, just don't worry. Despite my reassurance, it was a while before he stopped trembling. Then he said,
You know, Tama, they say that when a man and a woman meet under unusual circumstances, it's easy for them to fall in love.
Punch him in the gut. Punch him in the gut. Punch him in the gut. Sorry, Yanagashita, you're not Maria's type. Do they now?
They do! Going through an extreme situation together makes you fall for each other. So, wanna go get married?
Punch him in the gut, bite off his lip, kick him in the balls, and stomp on his foot. Half of what I just said may have happened to somebody. But, you know. You agree with what I'm saying for once? Oh my gosh. Boy! No way. Yeah, I'm not having this conversation. Anyway, I think they're gone now. The debt collectors, I mean. Mr. Yanagashita peeks out and quickly scans the surrounding area.
They're gone? They're gone!
So long, losers! But a vibrant, how's it going? His fear has given way to a burst of manic energy.
Guess I'm in the clear now. Thanks, Tama. Come on, let's take some commemorative photos.
Huh? Oops. Sleepy baby, welcome to the stream. What you walk in on? A marriage proposal that ended up getting kicked in the balls. To commemorate what exactly?
Come on, it'll be fun. Okay, big smile now. Ready? Cheese! Butter! Margarine!
Okay. After that, part ways with Mr. Yanagashita and head to a different floor. I don't tell him about being able to see through the scratch cards. The guy really ought to develop a proper work ethic. Very true. Very, very true.
Hey, come on, wake up!
I'm on the escalator to the third floor when I hear someone shouting. I figure it's someone yelling to their kid, but when I turn around, I see a young man I don't recognize staring right at me. Where are you going? It's not safe for us to get separated. What? Who's this weirdo? Is this some new pickup trick or something? I rushed up to the escalator to get away from the guy. What up, Cheese? How's it going? By the way, I think we just found Achi.
Because Achi was with Hitomi, and Hitomi and Maria are twins. And, oh my gosh.
That's Sonic! When I get to the restaurant section on the 4th floor, I'm hit with a sudden pang of hunger. Come to think of it, I haven't eaten a thing all day. I'm so hungry, I murmured to myself as I walk around. No, I think it's Achi, Queen Cheese, because getting separated, that means Hitomi. Come on, Mod. Sonic. What should I eat? Then I spot Chiri coming out of a Chinese restaurant. Hey, Chiri! She turns to look at me confused. Who are you? Oh, it's me. It's Tama. Ah, I thought I recognized that voice, she replies with a nod. Did you eat again, I ask? Well, yeah, but then they kicked me out. Isn't that just terrible? She looks pretty displeased. I came here because they said it was an all-you-can-eat, but then they closed shop because they ran out of food. What's up, Supernova? How's it going? Also, did this girl really just eat an entire all-you-can-eat buffet? Listen, I love all-you-can-eat as well. Like, all-you-can-eat sushi? Perfect. This girl just ate everything. Oh, wow. You're right. Can we also point out that this is the girl that drank 6 gallons? Sorry, 6. How big are the water jugs? You know, like those big like water jugs that you see in like the water machines. She drank 6 jugs of orange juice of that, and she was fine. I spot one of the restaurant staff hanging a close sign on the front door. Man, and now my early afternoon snack is ruined. An afternoon snack at an all-you-can-eat buffet? I can't help but stare at Chiri's misdirection, amazed by what that stomach is capable of. By the way, have you seen the boss, she asks? I thought he'd finally accepted that he needs to buckle down and work, but he's got some crazy new scheme. I guess the guy's just never gonna learn. I figured nothing's good's gonna come from associating with him. I'd be careful if I were you too. Huh. Done with her little rant, Chiri says goodbye and heads off among the restaurants. Hey, Tommy? Who said that? Were they talking to me? Tanaka? That's Tanaka! I turned to see a businessman of some sort staring in my direction. Like everyone I run into today, I don't recognize him. For some reason, though, I feel relaxed in his presence. Is that you, Hitomi? Hitomi? Could that be my name? Or are you Maria? No, As I fumble for words, the man peers at me with obvious concern. What are you doing in a place like this? We need to get you back home. Your parents are worried sick. My parents? Did someone file a missing person report while I've been wandering around with amnesia? The man leads the way and I follow. We leave the Gigo building, Gigo? But head down a narrow alleyway. Then the man suddenly stops. I feel a jolt of anxiety as I notice something gleaming in his hand. It doesn't matter which of the two you are. You're both in the way. He mutters almost as if talking to himself. Right after that, everything goes dark. What the fuck did Tanaka just do? A mysterious man. After meeting a man who seemed to know her on the restaurant level, our heroine hoped to find out more about her past. Instead, she wound up getting attacked in an alleyway. Ultimately, this all came to pass because she was avoiding that young man who mistook her for Hitomi. If he hadn't come shouting after her, she would have gone on to buy some clothes as she originally intended. Really? So Achi asking for her got her killed? Straight up, Achi asking for Hitomi got her killed. So Tanaka's a bad guy. He also wanted to have gay sex with Osawa, kind of, it was implied, but I don't even... Who do we go as now? We could go as Achi. We get to learn about Cannon, the assassin girl who literally killed a whole bar full of people. Cassie, I'm not wrong! That actually happened! Achi? Alright, we'll go as Achi. For Cannon, who is the killer girl. You must be Hitomi. The girl called Cannon spoke fairly fluent Japanese. Hitomi nodded in response. Yes, that's me. And you're Cannon, right? How did you know my name? Did Maria tell you? No. So Sleepy, how this works is that there's 5 timelines, and based on different choices you make, you can change the timelines to make sure everyone lives. And the goal is to get to the end of the game at 1800 hours. Yes. She told me about this amazing girl from overseas she made friends with. A thin smile crossed Cannon's lips at the word amazing. Then her look grew sad. Poor Maria. It's my fault that she was abducted. What? Achi and Hitomi gasped in unison. That's why I have to rescue her, Cannon added. Hold on a second, Hitomi said. What do you mean it's your fault? Cannon replied by jerking her chin in the direction of the main road. Better head that way, she said softly. Someone's coming. But Hitomi didn't back down. Please tell me, why was my sister kidnapped? Several sets of footsteps echoed down the alley. They could see figures approaching now. By the looks of them, accomplices of the man Cannon had taken down earlier. You two get out of here, she warned. I'll handle this. She stepped out in front of Achi and Hitomi, moving with such confidence that they didn't doubt she could handle the threat. Come to the Jijo building at 3 o'clock, she added quietly, never taking her eyes off the advancing syndicate members. Wow, everyone's going to this Jijo building. Huh? Hitomi squeaked. I'll explain everything then. The criminals broke into a run. Come on, Hitomi, let's go, Achi hissed. He took her by the hand and bolted from the alleyway. They're running, run, they're running, run, running. But they're about to get separated at one point. Go back to watching anime? No worries, no, but take it easy. See you later. The two didn't slow their pace until they put plenty of distance between themselves and the alleyway. Cannon said this was her fault. What could she have meant by that? The hard run hadn't made Hitomi forget the other girl's startling suggestion. Well, she said she'd meet up with us again later, Achi said. We could ask her more about it then. In the meantime, an ache in his belly had made Achi realize he'd been running all day and hadn't eaten since the morning. People on a diet need to be careful about skipping meals. Going too long without proper nourishment can cause the body to store up its energy reserves, leading to weight gain instead of loss. Proper eating habits and proper exercise are key. Maybe it's not the best timing, but maybe it's not the best timing, but do you want to get some food? I'll be okay. Hitomi's face was racked with emotion. It's only natural, Achi thought. Not only was she afraid for her sister's life, but there were all these people out to kill her too. And with this Cannon girl suddenly showing up, the situation was more confusing than ever. Still, they might as well address a few problems they can control. There was a fast food joint nearby. Let's go in there, Achi said. You might not be hungry, but you still make sure you stay hydrated. Hitomi shook her head, but her wan face? Her wan face. Her wan face. Wan face. I have no idea what word that actually is supposed to be, but her wan face practically radiated exhaustion. Come on, we should rest up a little. But there's no rush. If we're going to meet up with Cannon later, it's probably best we don't just wander aimlessly until then. Her face. True. Waluigi! She's suddenly Waluigi. Hitomi secretly Waluigi in disguise. Never know who we might run into. I guess you're right. The two went into a fast food restaurant together. Welcome, said the girl at the register with a bright smile. May I take your order? I'll have the spaghetti with meat sauce. Spaghetti with sauce made from tomatoes and ground meat, also known as spaghetti bologna. If you want to sound more Italian, like Napolitan spaghetti? Napolitan spaghetti? Flavored with ketchup. It is a fucking hell, words, man. Perennial favorite of Japanese children. Frozen packages at the supermarket for around 200 yen a pop make for a simple and decently tasty microwavable meal. That's always so easy on the wallet. Sounds good. How about you, Hitomi? I'll just have an iced tea. Hey now, you should probably eat at least a little something. Okay, then I'll have a strawberry parfait. A dessert of strawberries topped with ice cream and whipped cream. Tomi had been so worried about her sister that she hasn't eaten anything since last night, but being with Achi had calmed her nerves a little, and her appetite has returned. Perhaps her reflexive order of a strawberry parfait is a sign that she's not only hungry, but also still a little girl with a sweet tooth at heart. I mean, I guess. She sounded a little embarrassed to be ordering a dessert. So yeah, said Achi, one spaghetti and meat sauce and a strawberry parfait, please. Coming right up. The cashier promptly assembled their meal and set it out on a tray. We got a special contest going on right now, she said. Please, check it out if you're interested. The girl handed Achi a flyer. It read, Iron Stomach Eating Contest. Eat 1,000 scoops of ice cream and win 10 million yen. A competitive eating event held by this establishment. Backed by Sun TV, the competition has been shared with the entire country over the internet. Many contestants have entered for a shot at the 10 million yen prize, but so far, no one has been able to complete the eating challenge. Due to the large number of competitors who suffer from gastrointestinal distress as a result of their efforts, roughly 30 portable toilets have been set up outside the restaurant. Alright, you guys all know what's about to happen, right? I was gonna say Queen Cheese, Chiri and Yanagashita would win this immediately. They're probably going to be interrupted, Sleepy. It's always going to happen in this game. There's probably going to be a point where Chiri's going to come here with Yanagashita, and they're going to win. Sheeple could win also. Sheeple probably could also win, true. What the heck? Achi stared at the flyer as he took a seat at an open table. 1,000 scoops? That's impossible! Anyway, let's hurry up and eat. As Achi stuffed his face with spaghetti, he thought back to their encounter with Cannon. Yo, that parfait looking good. That spaghetti looking... Okay hands. Okay hands! The girl had helped them out, sure, but could they really trust her completely? It might be dangerous to meet up with her again. Still, Hitomi needed to know more about what had happened to Maria, and Cannon obviously knew something about that. It looked like they'd need to take the risk. My sister really is amazing. Huh? Hitomi's quiet words drew Achi from his ruminations. He paused with a fork full of spaghetti halfway to his mouth. Yeah, that's cheery, Sleepy. That's cheery. But you are correct. Need that parfait right freaking now? True. My sister met Cannon while she was on a trip to the Middle East with my father. Hitomi nibbled at her parfait, looking lonesome. Cool, but how does that in particular make your sister amazing? It's typical of her is all. She's so dynamic and gung-ho about things. Hitomi explained, her gaze turned inward. It was just my father and sister who took that trip to the Middle East. I didn't go with them. I guess my mental image of that part of the world is mostly that it's really dangerous. Understandable. To me, going there seemed like a huge risk, but Maria didn't see it that way. That's true. A lot of us from the States, at least, I know that's where, of course, where I'm from. We hear about all the stories in the Middle East and just the crazy amount of shit that goes on there. And we come up with this image in our heads that it's just a dangerous place where crazy things happen. There's a lot of death going on. There's a lot of fighting. It's not good. But it could be an awesome place. We just don't know. Yeah, I'm going to keep sneezing. Sorry about that. There's something also to consider, too. Like, imagine people who live in, like, Japan or who live, say, in Africa, and they hear news about the U.S., right? They're hearing maybe about U.S. politics or just some of the things going on in the U.S. Can we, like, it's crazy to think that they would, like, it's crazy to think this, but they would think that we're probably fucking insane as well. Because they don't live here and they don't know how cool a place that it really is here. But they hear all the news and the politics and the crazy stuff that happens. They're like, man, that place must be going to shit. Oh, we're doing pretty good. Coming from the cute little... It's Sleepy. It's already been implied a few times. But I think he's just wanting to kill both of the girls. Your sister sounds like a bit of a loose cannon. But if you can't bring yourself to take risks and do things, Hitomi continued, you can't meet new people and have new experiences. That's the part I always get hung up on, the risk. I'd never be able to make a friend like Cannon. You met Achi! Achi's fucking badass! Achi's mind wandered as he listened to Hitomi talk. She and her might be twins, but each of them were still unique. Just what kind of person was Hitomi's sister? He just wanted to sit there and listen to her voice. Hey Lily, how's it going? Doing pretty good. I got a strawberry banana peach smoothie, so. True sleepy. Look how good that is. I was gonna say she and her sister might be twins, but each of them were still unique. Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there, he said. He held up his hand to cut her off. Huh? Hitomi's eyes went wide. Why are you comparing yourself to your sister? I mean, I don't know what it's like to be a twin, but can't you just be yourself? Professor Palmer said the same thing. She didn't recognize the name. Oh, sorry. Leland Palmer. He's my university English professor. He's given me advice on a whole bunch of things. It sounded rather intimate. All sorts of worrying images shot through Achi's mind. How old is this teacher of yours? Hey, Sammy, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. Little Queen Cheese, same. No worries, Lily, no worries. Huh? Around 40 or so, I guess. Great, Achi thought to himself. Another middle-aged guy. No worries, Sammy, no worries. Hope you were enjoying Karto's sister. Not again! His mind filled with another sequence of slightly more upsetting images. That image. Oh, hey, ain't that her time? Oh, hey, isn't that... Oh, Tomi Asawa? Oh, wow, you're totally right, it totally is. A college-age couple sitting behind them was talking in hushed, excited tones. Man, she really is a cutie, the young man observed. He made no attempt to hide the fact he was looking Hitomi over. Hey, hold on, Masa. A first-year student at Midoriyama Academy who works part-time as a delivery driver for Dogen Hut, a noodle shop in Dogenzaka. He's taking the day off work today in order to attempt a dry run of the Iron Stomach Eating competition, hoping to strike it rich with his girlfriend looks on. But now that he's eaten 2 parfaits, his stomach isn't feeling well, and he's just gotten back from his 5th trip to the toilet. Damn. No worries, Sammy. Take it easy. Take it easy. Damn. Said the girl, what gives? Literally hitting on a girl while your girlfriend's there? Well, I mean, she is Miss Midoriyama, right? Miss Midoriyama? Achi turned to the couple. Hey, did you guys just say she's Miss Midoriyama? Achi said nothing, but he kept his ears tuned to the couple's conversation. Achi did his best to ignore the couple. Whatever they were talking about couldn't be that important. Where are we? There's multiple. This is all happening in the span of 5 minutes. Jesus, I'm gonna ignore them. What did that even matter? Achi decided to ignore the couple. But no, he was just too curious. Achi turned back to Hitomi. Is that true? He asked, peering intently at her face. Well, yeah. She nodded with an awkward smile. Well, I mean, you are really cute and all, Achi said. Miss Midoriyama. Well, I'll be. He nodded to himself as he took it all in. I don't know why I did Minorikawa's voice there. It was Professor Palmer who convinced me to enter the beauty contest, actually, Hitomi said. Hold up. Hold up. The Miss Midoriyama contest at Midoriyama Academy is considered one of the top student beauty pageants in Japan. Pin-up shots of both Hitomi and Maria have already graced the pages of several magazines. Talent agencies have also made attempts to scout them, but both girls declined, claiming they have entered the contest just for the memories, and they have no interest in show business. How did Hitomi win and not Maria, though? Interesting. Just screenshot of the parfait. There it is. Huh. Hachi's smile twisted up a little. He said if I really wanted to change myself, I should try entering. Achi maintained his outward composure, but inside his heart was racing. Tanaka and Palmer, which of them held Hitomi's true affections? Neither of them. Or was she possibly leaning on the two old men at the same... Two middle-aged men at the same time? The more he thought about it, the worse his delusions became. Nice, Lily. What actually happened though is my sister and I both won the prize. Hitomi's words snapped at him out of his funk. She sounded disappointed. Huh? They gave out a double prize? Turns out my sister had entered the competition too. She smiled a self-deprecating smile. Guess twins really do think alike, huh? Hey, double schmubble, you still won a prize, right? That's pretty impressive. Nah, they just picked me as an afterthought to my sister because twins sharing the prize made for a good headline. She looked away sadly. Did they say they picked you as an afterthought? They didn't have to. It was obvious that my sister really won. You can't know that. Maybe she was the afterthought. Come on, you need to believe in yourself. Hitomi just hung her head. But I'm such a terrible person. No, you're not. Suddenly her eyes welled up with tears. I hate myself so much. I could never forgive myself for what I did. Hey, whoa! Achi watched her with trepidation. She looked like she might start bawling at any moment. What's the matter? The night my sister was kidnapped, I was supposed to go to a college party with her. But then all of a sudden she told me not to go. I kept asking her why not, but she just kept insisting I couldn't. Hitomi's face was bleak with regret. We both got mad and I wound up blowing up at her. Okay, I get it. I don't need to go to the party. Fine, I'll just be a little tag-along anyway. Just like in that beauty contest, you couldn't just let me enter that by myself, could you? You always have to be the center of attention. Maria scowled. Fine. The party starts at 7 o'clock. Try not to forget, okay? They really are twins! Oh my gosh. I was kicking myself as soon as I told her off. My sister isn't the sort of person to tell me what to do or not to do. She must have had a reason for not wanting me to go. I was planning on apologizing to her after the party, but then she was abducted, right? Achi polished off the last of his spaghetti. He set down his fork, then wiped his mouth. There's still spaghetti there. He'd tell me, I get why you're trying so hard. So hard to save your sister, he said. And maybe I'm not as tough as that cannon girl, but I'll stick with you to the end if you let me. He tried his best to convey an optimism he didn't really feel. And once we found her and she's safe and sound, you can tell her you're sorry about what you said. Aww. At long last, Hitomi cracked a smile. Lily, you gotta watch the other streams at this point, because there's so much story. There's 5 stories going on at the same time. Keep that in mind. A short while later, the two arrived outside the Jijo building. They were a little early for their 3 o'clock meetup with Cannon. How early? Okay, they're 45 minutes early, so that's okay. Most of them? Okay. Sega. They decided that searching at random for the blue minivan was too risky. It could easily draw the attention of the man with the cane of the foreign kidnappers. Getting information from Cannon seemed like the best next move. It's all good, Lily. I'm thinking at some point, maybe I should do, like, 5 videos explaining, like, each, story. And going, like, through the list of things. It's gonna take a lot of work because I have to get the scenes by themselves and not really the stream. But, it might be something to do. Oh, hey, Achi said as they waited. You've got a little rip in your top. Why do both of them have rips in their left shoulder? Hitomi glanced at her shoulder and saw the tear in the fabric. Oh, you're right. When did that happen, I wonder? Must have snagged on something while we were running, I guess. We got some time before Cannon gets here. Do you want to buy some new clothes? Huh? Are you sure that's a good idea? We'll stick out if you just stand around here waiting. May as well head inside until there's time. You're good. Yeah, there's a lot going on. Just know for right now that, like, just to bring you guys up to speed once again, Cannon is an assassin girl, it seems like, who is taking out the people who are after the attache case, which is happening in Kano's story. And Cannon wants to meet up with the Hitomi and Achi at 3 o'clock here at the Gigo building where Sega is. Kano right now has learned that everybody who held an attache case is dead from Cannon. Norikawa's laptop that's making the story is broken. Tanaka is a traitor, and Tama, aka Maria, just got killed by Tanaka. So, Sugus of Wisteria? No, I have not. Everyone who frequented the old shopping district knew about them, including Achi and Hitomi. Yeah, so all the stories are intertwined. Keep in mind that every single story is intertwined. So, like, if I were to do I would do probably a quick jump, where like we would do like one video on Achi and be like, Achi starts off like leaving the electronics business and he picks up trash on the daily. He heads to Shibuya there where he meets Hitomi, and just kind of go through each of the different parts and just briefly summarize them with kind of a brief, like, little snippet or something. I feel like that would be interesting, but I'd have to work on my editing for that. Grow White Story, broke laptop, so crazy. Yeah, no, there's crazy stuff. Yeah, they usually can't talk or interact. However, Minorikawa and Tama technically have interacted now. Like, actually. Yeah, so everything is super intertwined with each other. Like, I'm totally down to make a video explaining how everything is, just like I said. Like, I'd have to go here and then, like, click on this and then do the first scene for each one. And then maybe a 6th video going over how they all intertwine. And this, I'll go over all the true endings and then even talk about the bad endings in each path. Maybe. I'd have to, like, record each different part and then audio over it. So, we'll give it a try. Maybe later. In a pinch, one of those back entrances could be an escape route. With this in mind, the two headed inside. Shibuya Gigo was an entertainment complex featuring a video arcade, and a fashion shops. At the time of the story, Gigo includes not only fashion mall, but various amusements on its different levels. The second floor features all ages funds with rides, games, and sticker machines, while the third floor sports the latest arcade games for the core gamer. There's also a food court that offers things such as crepes and loaded takoyaki, octopus dough balls. Pretty good. The ground floor and two basement levels of the building were designed as an amusement area, outfitted with skee ball, claw cranes, fighting games, and the like. The second floor held a mix of photo booths and ladies' wear shops. On the third floor were specialty fashion boutiques, and on the fourth were restaurants. Pretty cool. Achi and Hitomi took the escalator to the second floor. Hitomi started heading for the shops, but Achi stopped her. Hey, wait up! What's the matter? A dude hanging around a women's clothing store is gonna stand out. I'll wait for you here. There seemed to be nobody but female customers around. If the man with the cane or the kidnappers appeared, Achi figured he would spot them right away. It should be safe for Hitomi to shop on her own for a short while. Alright, Hitomi said. I'll try to make this quick. She began to head out onto the sales floor. Why the fuck is he here? Why? What is he doing? Woo! A seedy-looking man poked out from beneath the door of a photo booth right at Hitomi's feet. That was a close one, wasn't it, Tama? He said to her. I thought it was dead meat for sure. His tone was oddly cheerful, considering what he was saying. Who's this guy? Achi asked. You know him? No, I don't. The sketchy fellow gave her an ingratiating look. Come on, Tama, don't be like that. Hitomi took an anxious step back. Hey, man, knock it off! Achi dragged the guy up to his feet. Okay, no need to get all testy. Who is this guy, Tama? He your boyfriend? Boyfriend? That might be one way to get rid of him, that's right. So how about you get lost? A bashful grin spread across Achi's face. I guess? Achi didn't want to give him the wrong impression. No, it's nothing like that. Boyfriendo? Sure. Is what he was about to say, but Hitomi spoke up first. No, he's not. What? So you're not her boyfriend? The guy flashed a broad grin. Hey, listen, you creep. Who the hell are you? Oh, me? The man's face suddenly blanched. Oh, crap! Tama, hold on to this for a bit, will ya? The weirdo shoved a worn-out magazine into Hitomi's hands and bolted off in a panic. The heck was that all about? Yeah, I wonder why you ran off like that. Achi and Hitomi stared at one another. Well, anyway, Achi said. There are a lot of nut jobs out there, so just be careful, yeah? Okay, if anything happens, I'll give you a shout. Hitomi flashed him an impish smile, then scampered off onto the sales floor. As he watched her go, Achi muttered to himself. Damn it, why does she have to be so cute? Look at that smile, look at that smile. Oh man, this is going good. I like this. Five minutes or more passed as Achi waited for Hitomi. He stood by the escalator, almost as if he were keeping guard. Female shoppers began to give him icy stares for being somewhere he probably shouldn't. This sucks. Come on, Hitomi, hurry up and get back here. The longer he waited, the more uncomfortable he felt. How long was she going to take? Then he happened to turn around to see Hitomi riding the escalator up. It looked like she had indeed bought some new clothes. Bye, Lily. Take it easy. Hey, Hitomi! She didn't seem to hear him. He decided to shout a bit louder. He decided to go after her. Which one gets me the bad ending? Right now we need to get the bad ending. So is it just stuck there? Yeah, no, true. Very true. Which one will probably give me that bad ending? I think it's shout a bit louder. Just shout a bit louder. He decided to shout a bit louder. Hey, come on, wait up! Hitomi stole a quick look back at him. Where are you going? He called. It's not safe for us to get separated. Yet still she continued her flight toward the upper floors. Did she not realize it was him or something? Achi hurried in pursuit. Achi followed her, but by the time he reached the top, she was out of sight. This was the restaurant floor, so it was more open than the other levels. A floor designated solely for eateries. Typically, this is the topmost floor of a mall building like Gigo. Those who head up here during morning hours will likely find the place deserted. Gigo's restaurant floor features a variety of different cuisines, including Chinese, Italian, creative Japanese food, sushi, tempura, and other delicacies from around the world. He hurriedly began to look around. As he wandered, he bumped into a man talking on his cell phone. Sorry, my bad. Sorry, my bad. Achi held up a hand in apology, but the man was too engrossed in his conversation to notice. No, you're not getting it. The lock was undone, too. The man startled Achi by suddenly shouting into his phone. You need to consider the risk of it getting out. Whatever this guy was talking about, he sure was angry with whoever was on the other end. Hey, Squid Kid, how's it going? Look, I'll figure out what to do about the minivan. You just handle things on your end. Minivan? Achi's interest was piqued, but he needed to find Hitomi before he let anything distract him. Uh-oh. As he scoured the 4th floor, he came across a Chinese buffet and noticed the large windows in the outer walls. You could see a lot of Shibuya through these windows. Maybe Hitomi had decided to look for the minivan from up here. Uh-oh. One of the restaurant employees came rushing up as Achi head inside. Sir, I'm sorry, she said. What? Sir, you'll have to forgive the inconvenience. Why is there foreboding music? We're not open to the public. Not right now. Not at the moment, I mean. Oh, this is the restaurant. Never mind. We're fine. We're fine. This is the one that that Chiri ate everything. The employee's voice was oddly subdued for some reason. Masai Taikei, a part-time staffer at Imabiki Chinese restaurant. Her boss treated her out pretty bad for showing up at work with her nails manicured black. She was ordered to go to the restroom and scrub them clean, but no amount of nail polish remover would do the trick, and so she's been dealing with her boss's wrath all day long. Welcome back, Boogie Z. You want to know what I think? You want to know what I think? So for those who are still new to this series, Osawa is baking a... Hey, good morning, Justin. How's it going? So to let you guys know what I think, Osawa is making trying to make an antidote for the UA virus, which causes you to bleed out of every single part of your body in 12 hours. And kills you in 12 hours. He was trying to use human testing to stop that from happening. I did animal testing, somebody did human testing, so on and so forth. I think that the UA virus is on her fingernails. Something's telling me that the UA virus was like put on her fingernails and it's stuck there. They'll probably tell you that they were putting it on autofill. Maybe, who knows? Why not? Achi asked. Well, you see, one of our other customers ate all of our food. They ate all of it? Yeah, there's... Jesus fucking Christ! Looking around, Achi saw a chubby young woman camped out by at a table by one of the windows. What the fuck, Chiri? She's not gaining any weight from this! How is she the pinnacle of good health after eating fucking all of those? How is she not dead? What the fuck, Chiri? Set up before her was a veritable mountain of plates. What I'm trying to say, sir, is that we're closed for the rest of the day. Oh, but I'm with her, actually, Achi lied. Without waiting for a reply, he barged into the restaurant. He took a quick look around, but there was no sign of Hitomi. Before leaving, though, he figured he'd at least take a look out the windows. The huge glass panes looked down on Dogenzaka. He had a decent view of the roads, but he didn't spot a blue minivan. Achi dropped his gaze to the sidewalk outside the building. Uh-oh. Oh. He let out a tiny gasp. Even from 4 stories up, there was no mistaking what he saw. A group of black-clad foreign men he gathered outside the building. Had they figured out that he and Hitomi were inside? He needed to find her and fast. Uh-oh. He raced out of the restaurant alert for trouble. I mean, true, it's pretty funny, but crazy. Keep out! So we're on a good path? Well... I think we should go after Maria. So these two will meet up, technically. He decided to go after her. Had she forgotten where he was waiting for her? She stayed on the escalator, headed up toward the top floor. Achi followed her, but at the time they reached the top, she was out of... What? The debt collectors. Oh, this is not good. This is not good, Mr. Yanagashita whispers. Getting falls with the slugs might be a bad idea. Pretend not to know Yanagashita. Let's do that then. I get. Well, let's keep the same path and see what we can do. Because we've already seen this, but I get the feeling that something else different's about to happen. Like maybe different text, maybe? Stop trembling. Said, you know, Tama, they say that I'm a man and woman. We need to kick him in the balls. Does anyone have a baseball bat that we can give him a cherry tap? I have no idea, Queen Cheese. That's another thing. Well, make some brunch? No worries. Oh, they're taking pictures again. The day we met. Broken friends forever. Afro life. I just realized it says Afro life. That's fantastic. Part ways, Mr. Yanagashita. Don't tell him about being able to see through the sketch cards. Work ethic. Okay, so this time we won't be yelled at going up the stairs, right? Huh? Really? That's the difference? That's all the difference. The 3rd floor is packed with young girls. I spot a shirt that catches my eye and head to the fitting room to try it on. There I realize there's something in my pocket, something I must have been carrying around for a while. It's a photo. A photo of a white man. Stanley? That's Stanley! That's the American detective that's with Kano right now! What is going on? Why does he have a photo of Stanley? Who's this guy? I can't quite tell if I recognize him or not. This man. Why did the screen just fizzle? Huh? Dangerous. I hear someone's voice inside my head. Stay away from him. Flashes of memory flicker in my mind. I see a girl standing before me. I can't quite recall her face, but I get the impression she's someone very important. She speaks to me. It's Cannon! This man is dangerous. Stay away from him. Uh-oh. That's all. Then I snap back to my senses. It feels like I was right on the cusp of remembering something critical. At any rate, it seems that there's some connection between me and the man in the photo. Try as I might, though, I can't recall anything more than that. Yo, she's looking fly. Perfect choice. Okay, hands. I try on the shirt I picked on. Yeah, that looks good. I decide to buy it and have the store toss out my torn sweater for me. Yo, she looking fly. As I'm about to go down the escalator, a young man strides up to me as I'm an old friend. They're about to interact! There you are. I thought we were going to meet on the second floor. Going to meet? What's this guy talking about? I've never seen him before. Well, anyway, come on. We have to go hide. Hide? Why do we need to do that? Hide? Why? Because those guys might have found us. They're outside. He grabs my hand and I yank it away. Hey, come on. What gives? Is this some new pickup trick or something? Whatever it is, it's way too aggressive. I get the heck out of there. Hey! Hey! The guy keeps shouting, but I ignore him and try to slip away into the crowd. I look back though, I see that he's still following me. What do I do? For now, maybe I should head to another floor. Maybe I should hide someplace where there are few people. Let's go to another floor. I hurry toward the bank of elevators. There's Yanagashita. Well, if it isn't Tama, what a coincidence. It's Yanagashita again. I try to walk on by like I don't notice him, but it's already too late. Huh? Hey, where'd your boyfriend go? Boyfriend? I have no clue what he's talking about. Anyway, perfect timing. Could you give me back that magazine? Nothing you're saying is making any sense. I peer at him in confusion. Once again, Yanagashita looks like he might start to cry. Don't tease me like this. I did give it to you, right? No, you didn't give me anything. I get it. You wanted that 100,000 yen all to yourself. So now you're playing dumb, is that it? No, I honestly have no idea what this is all about. People are so confused that they're twins. By now he's all worked up and getting red in the face. Look, you might have amnesia, but that excuse ain't gonna fly with me. The amnesia has nothing to do with it. He doesn't seem to want to believe me, no matter what I say. Come on, hurry up and just give it back! Otherwise I'm gonna start bawling here real loud. He's going to cry? Seriously? This guy's a real piece of work. Well, what's it gonna be? You're gonna make a grown man cry. It would certainly be pretty embarrassing if you start sobbing now, but I can't exactly give him back a magazine I never had. The elevator door is open. It's the debt collectors. Bye, Yanagashita. Well, if it isn't our little entrepreneur, we've been looking for you. It's the two thugs from before, and there's no avoiding them this time. Ozu and his underling Yutaro Sagawa, members of the Tenryugumi Yakuza Syndicate. Ozu is quite frightening when angry. His nickname is Ozu the Ogre, but despite his strong emotions, he is very logic-driven. Sagawa is the archetypical punk who likes to get into scuffles, but he's also a really good cook. Well, that's good. So, Puggeezy, we call, Caitlin calls Yanagashita Etz, so that's why we say that. Yipes! The men drag Mr. Yanagashita into the elevator. Save me, Tama! He grabs hold of my hand. Hey, let go of me! Great, now I'm in the elevator too, and the doors were shutting. Now then, Mr. Yanagashita, says the bald-headed man, there's nowhere else to run. His tone is polite, but also pretty foreboding. Whoa, wait, just hold on, I can get you the money! I'm just about to get loads of it! Enough of your poppycock, snarls the younger guy. Balderdash, claptrap, straight up nonsense, taken from the Dutch papperkak, meaning soft dung. I really mean it this time, please, you have to believe me. I can pay you 100,000 yen right now. 100,000? You're really carrying around that much? Asked the bald man. No, not me, the girl! The men turned to eye me in unison. She's holding on to something that's worth 100,000 yen! Huh? Uh-oh. The sudden turn in the conversation has me all flustered. Tama, please, Yanagashita says. Just hand it over. I already told you I don't know what you're talking about. The elevator stops at the first floor and the doors open. Oh! Uh-oh. 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 For those who don't know, Toyama's also being chased by debt collectors. These exact same debt collectors. Well, this just turned interesting. Oh! Sitting on the other side of the door is the guy I ran into earlier, Hana's father. The bald-headed man snarls. Toyama!
I'll just get the next one.
Hana's father bolts like a startled herald. The bald man and his cronies stare after him. Now's my chance, Yanagashita hisses. He darts out of the elevator and makes a run for it.
Hey, after him, shouts the bald man.
After who, him or him?
You start with Toyama.
The two thugs race after Hana's father. Alright then, they left me all by myself. I'm worried enough to think about going after them, but before too long I've lost sight of them all. For a long time I just stand there, dumbfounded, like a hurricane victim lingering in the aftermath. Ugh, what a day this has been. When I finally get my wits about me, I realize I'm pretty hungry. That's right, I didn't get to eat lunch. I head for the 4th floor where the restaurants are. True. Since I really don't want to run into Yanagashita and those other guys again, I decide to take the escalator. As I'm riding it up, I hear a commotion coming from the floor below. It's a man's voice shouting angrily. Minorikawa? Who else would be in the Gigo building? It wouldn't be Kano. I don't think it would be Kano. I think it would be... Yeah, I would say that it probably would be Minorikawa. Out of my way, come on! I pay the outpost no heed and let the escalator take me up. I'm gonna take a guess it's Minorikawa. When I arrive at the 4th floor restaurant section, the sign for a Chinese buffet catches my eye. A style of dining where guests serve themselves freely from an array of prepared foods, taking as much of each as they want. Many hotels and restaurants tend to hold buffets at lunchtime or for brunch. Sometimes, however, they just winds up being a kind of cruel trap, with crowded lines making it take forever for you to even get near the food. The guy who was on the phone? No, that was Tanaka. So Minorikawa is this guy. This is Minorikawa. He's a journalist whose laptop is dead. Tanaka is Tanaka is in this one. He's the guy that's in the middle right there. Was here this morning. Technically I have 2 mods, but one has been busy, so but she would remember his voice. Oh, that's true because they have interacted. In Mabiki Chinese restaurant, the name means something along the lines of fire and morning. I guess fire is important for cooking, but that's kind of an unsettling thing to call an entree. Oh well, I guess the name doesn't really matter. I'm in a mood to straight up devour some Chinese food. When I go to enter though, I'm stopped by one of the employees. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. Why is she looks like she's about to just eat your soul. She's adorable. Like, she's super cute. But she looks like she's about to eat your soul. I'm afraid we're not accepting any customers. I mean, we're not really open, not just now. She sounds a little bewildered by her own words. Why not? Well, you see, one of our other customers ate all of our food. Someone ate an entire restaurant out of food? Is that even possible? What I'm trying to say, miss, is that we're, closed for the day. Go figure. Looks like Mr. Yanagashita's bad luck has rubbed off on me. It's cheery. I guess I'll have to look for another restaurant, too. Hana? Hold up. Who's that kid? What's Hana doing there? Lying idly across the seats in the waiting area at the front of the restaurant is a young girl. Is this the girl that dismal-looking fellow has been searching for? She looks so sad it makes my heart ache. I can't just leave her alone. Excuse me, is your name Hana? She looks wary at the question. Your father's been looking for you, I say. Hana ignores me and just stares up at the ceiling. Hey, how about we try to find your dad together? I coax the girl into getting up, then I call out to the restaurant staffer. Excuse me, where should I go to ask them to put an announcement on the PA system? Dude, this girl is like losing her mind. Dunno, maybe the 1st floor? The security office? Damn! Right, down we go. I take Hana with me and we get one of those elevators together. Do you know my father? Do you know my father? Hana's tone is pretty brusque. Well, I don't really know him exactly. Then are you a debt collector? I laugh and shake my head. Would a debt collector be wearing an outfit like this? I know, right, Queen Cheese? Hana lets out a deep sigh. So you're just kind of butting in then? Well, yeah, I guess so. I can't do female voices, I'm sorry. I can't help but grin sheepishly. I feel like something about sad little Hana is stirring some of my lost memories. If I just came out and told her that, though, she'd probably think I was a total weirdo. So I decided to say something else. I guess I just get bored being all by myself. Guess I'm just the sort of person who can't ignore someone in trouble. Hey, Siren, how's it going? Don't have any? So what you're saying is, I need to order you some fries. Guess I'm just the sort of person who can't ignore someone in trouble. You're weird. Hana looks away from me. Sounds about right. We were in a cat costume this entire time, so... When I get to the security office, I hear voices coming from inside. I wonder what they're talking about. I peek in through the crack in the door and see a man with a cane speaking with the security. Uh-oh. 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 It might be Takama. How many exits are there that lead outside? Not Tanaka. It's the other guy. The guy who made the Dick Diary. There's the main entrance on the first floor, along with 2 side entrances. Also, there's one down on the first basement level and another in the second basement. The security guard spoke with polite precision. I see, says the man with the cane. I need you to shut all the exits except for the main entrance right away. Understood, sir! Uh-oh. Who is Hana and why is Cane Man here? So, Hana is Toyama, who is Minorikawa's boss's daughter. That's who Hana is. Cane Man is the assassin who's been trying to kill Hitomi, who also could possibly be the detective that Kano looks up to. Kano's a detective, by the way. There's a lot of intermingled stuff. I'm sorry if this is not making any sense. Attention all shoppers! The announcement comes in over the loudspeaker. Due to maintenance, all first floor entrances other than the main entrance have been closed. We apologize for the inconvenience. Customers wishing to leave, please use the main entrance on the first floor. I'm not sure what just happened, but it sounds like the main entrance is now the only way out. Come on, I say. Let's have them make an announcement for us. But when I turn around, Hana is gone. She must have run off while I was distracted. Well, looky here. If it ain't that little cutie again. Uh-oh. The 2 thugs that were after Yanagashita come strolling toward me. Wow, you're a speedy one, huh? Says the bald man. Weren't you downstairs just now? And did you change your clothes too? He looks me over, seeming impressed. They found Hitomi. Hey, hold on. Let me see your face. The younger man grabs me by the waist. You know Yanagashita, yeah? Go on and give him a quick little call for us. He gives me a sharp yank. Let go of me. Can it, girlie? Just give the man a call and we're all good. I have nothing to do with that guy. Do it now. These guys aren't even listening to me. Now I'm pretty pissed off. I said, I have nothing to do with that guy. I forgot. Tama, aka Maria, is a badass. Because she beat the undefeated champion of street fighting in a cat costume. We forgot about that. We totally forgot about that. She sucks at rock, paper, scissors, but she beat an undefeated cosplay street fighter while she was wearing a cat suit. I whip my manhandled arm in a wide arc and send the younger man flying into a stack of boxes. Guess he must have not been expecting that. He hits hard, the impact knocks him out cold. Whoa, who the heck are you? The bald man asks, his eyes wide. Shut up, I tell him. You're next. I flash a winning grin. He gathers up his fallen friend and drags him away as fast as he can go. Okay, that was pretty strange. It was just like when I was fighting Miku. My body seemed to know how to pull off all these moves instinctively. Am I a martial artist, maybe? Maybe. Anyway, I gotta find Hana. Oh, my nose. Easier said than done. I wander around the building, but I don't see any sign of the girl. Maybe she went back home. Eventually, I slumped down on a bench in a corner. I wish I could go home too, I muttered to myself. Well, that escalated. Something cold presses against my neck. What? Is that what I think it is? Make a scene and I slit your throat. Oh no, it is a knife. Two foreign men grabbed me by the arms from either side. In that moment, fragmented memories flowed through my mind. I'm on a street. It looks like someplace in the Middle East. I'm being dragged along by several men. I'm too scared to speak. There are people on the street, market vendors, but none of them seem willing to get involved. The men drag me into some back alley. Help me. Please, somebody help me. I'm being abducted. Uh-oh. And then a dark silhouette drops down in front of me. The figure brandishes a knife threateningly at the men. Cannon. That's cannon! The blade moves with dazzling speed. My captors are all down in mere moments. Who is this? Who came to save me? I try my utmost to drag my memories to the surface. It's a girl. That's right, I'm certain of that much. I don't remember her face, but it's a girl younger than me. Bye, Vibrant. Take it easy. Walk faster. The angry hiss in my ear snaps me out of my flashback. What was that memory just now? I'm more concerned about the girl who saved me than I am about the men who've captured me now. Uh-oh. The two thugs march me along, still holding me by their arms. Can't believe she was in a place like that. Yeah, talk about giving us the runaround. I can't figure out what they're talking about. A place like what? Giving them the runaround? Do you know me? The two men look at each other. Wait, are you the other one? One of them peers closely into my face. What are you talking about? What do you mean, a place like... I stop as a sudden idea comes to me. Hold on, are you talking about that storehouse? The men look utterly confused. What are you talking about? One of them asks. I explain that I've lost my memory. This seems to make them pretty anxious. We gotta report this. One of the men takes out his cell phone and makes a call. He informs whoever's on the other end that I've lost my memory. I have no idea what's going on. Based on what I could follow from the conversation, though, it seems that there were people who had these were the people that had put me in that storehouse. But why had they done that? One of these guys asked if I was the other one. What could that possibly mean? Could it be? Did they abduct me because they mistook me for someone else? If so, who? The more I try to think, the more muddied this all gets. Calm down. Just calm down. Let's think of what we know. What I do know for sure is that I woke up inside that storehouse, and evidently it took a blow to the head, and that's the cause of my amnesia. Hold on, that's strange. If these people had kidnapped me before, why wasn't the storehouse, well, locked? Seems pretty sloppy if they wanted to keep someone confined. Oh, gosh. What could all of this possibly mean? It's no use. I haven't the foggiest. None of this makes any sense at all. Let go of her. I craned my neck to see who spoke. It's the man with the cane who was at the security office. Who the hell are you? One of my captors barks. I said let her go. Did you not hear? It's the assassin man, but the man with the cane pulls a gun from his suit pocket. Get lost. This isn't worth dying over. The two men take a few steps back and then bolt out of the alleyway. Who are you? My voice trembles slightly. Guess he's not here. The man takes a quick look around. He? Do you mean Mr. Yanagashita? All that matters is that he's not here. Gun in hand, the man slowly approaches. Hitomi Osawa. I know you've done nothing wrong. What? I feel a jolt of surprise at the name. Hitomi Osawa? Is that my name? His face a mask of stone, the man points the gun right at my head. Please, no hard feelings. To be continued? What? We got to the good ending so far. He's about to kill the wrong girl. Hey, Marie changed clothes. I like how when things actually happen in the story, it's reflected in these scenes. Like, Maria has changed clothes. Also, we're done with Maria's story already. How's that, the good ending? Listen, there's been a lot of interesting things. Well, she's about to get assassinated by the detective. It's Takeno. Takeno's the guy's name. Let's see if we can jump to Achi's story. So what we have going on here. Because these guys actually interacted now. Maria and Achi interacted. Achi took the escalator down to the third floor and there was Hitomi standing right in the open after he'd been searching for her high and low. There you are, I thought we were going to meet on the second floor, Achi said. She stared back at him in confusion. Oh, well, anyway, come on, we have to go hide. Hide? Why? She gave him a dubious look. Achi felt like something was off, but now wasn't the time to dwell on it. Because those guys might have found us, he said. They're outside. He took hold of Hitomi's hand. Hey, let go, what gives? She quickly yanked her hand away. Huh? As Achi tried to make sense of the way she was acting, she took off down the corridor. Hey, Hitomi! He hurried after her. It was like changing her clothes had also changed her personality. Yeah, where is Hitomi? That's a good question. Still, he couldn't just leave her alone. The kidnappers might well be closing in. He stayed in pursuit of her, trying not to draw too much attention. He's gonna find actual Hitomi eventually. He lost track of her somewhere near the elevators. Ugh, what is her deal? Unsure what else he should do, he headed back down to the rendezvous point on the second floor. When he arrived, he spotted Hitomi heading down the escalator ahead of him. Hitomi! Achi shouted, but his voice vanished into the noise of the crowd and she disappeared onto the first floor. Damn it! Achi rushed down the escalator. He took the steps 2, 3, 5 at a time. He made it to the first floor and looked around. There was Hitomi about to take a different escalator back up. Why is she doing this? He waved his arms to get her attention, but she didn't notice and headed right back up. Down, up, what the heck is she thinking? Achi sped around and got on the upward escalator. Out of my way, come on! He shoved people aside as he ran up the moving stairs. He's getting confused by twins, but he saw no sign of Hitomi when he reached the second floor. He'd lost track of her completely. Oh, come on! This is ridiculous! Achi's shoulders slumped. He felt exhausted, but he kept up his search, scouring one floor after another until he eventually made it down to the second basement level. Had she grown too impatient waiting for Cannon and gone off searching for the blue minivan again. I think I can handle myself from here, he thought back to what Hitomi had said earlier. Damn it! She's not going to be okay by herself. He pounded his fist into the wall in frustration. Please, stop. This was Hitomi's voice. Hitomi! Achi moved faster than he could think. That is Hitomi. Achi! She called back. A pair of thugs had grabbed her by both arms. Achi stomped his way towards them. Get your hands off her, he shouted. Huh? What's it to you, pal? The older one of the two, a middle-aged fellow, turned to Achi with a sneer. He looked familiar somehow. Hitomi shook herself free of the men and ran over to Achi. It's no use trying to act tough, buddy. We're just trying to get back what we're owed. Don't make us have to get rough with ya. What are you owed? Hitomi, do you owe people money? No, I don't. They just came after me and started going on about 2 million yen. She looked just as baffled by the situation as Achi was. If you're gonna blame someone, blame your boss, the older man said. He gestured to his lackey. Do people not recognize that they're wearing different clothes? A feral gleam flashed in the young punk's eyes. It was the look of a man who couldn't resist dishing out a beatdown. He brought up his fist and shifted his feet, shadowboxing a few quick jabs with his left hand. He looked to Achi like the guy was an experienced boxer. Hold on, Hitomi said. What do you mean, my boss? Say what? Yanagashita, who the hell do you think? The young punk shuffled closer, fist still menacingly. Then his expression changed. Hey. Hold on, are you Achi Endo? Yeah, that's right. Haha, well ain't that lucky, getting to throw down with you like this. The punk sounded pleased indeed. I've heard all sorts of rumors about you, know. Let's see how true they are. Achi didn't like his chances in a straight-up fight with a trained boxer. What should he do? He better run for it, he had better apologize, he had to go for broke. Well, we're going for broke! He had to go for broke. His best chance was to hope for an opening to deliver a low kick. A kick using the foot or shin to strike the opponent in the thigh, just above the knee. In karate, this is known as Gindawa Mawashi Geri, since the legs are longer than the arms, is an effective technique against boxers. He needed the time to time it perfectly when his opponent took a step forward. With a loud breath, the thug shot out his left arm. Now! Achi stiffed his stance and unleashed a low kick. Suddenly, the elevator doors opened right nearby. Achi and the punk both stopped in mid-attack. A miserable-looking older man stood in the elevator. Poor Toriyama. Poor Toriyama. Dude's just not having a good day. At the sight of him, the punk's face went red with rage. You, Toyama!
Going up?
Welcome back, crazy. The man in the elevator hurriedly closed the doors. The two thugs rushed toward him, but the elevator had already begun heading back up. Come on, after him, the older man shouted. The young punk raced up the stairs. Yeah, I feel so bad for Toyama. Literally, he's missing his daughter, and he keeps finding the debt collectors. Dude's not having a good day. You stay wherever you are, the older fellow added, glaring at Otomi. Then he followed after his lackey. Does he really think we're dumb enough to just wait here? Achi scoffed. Achi, I've been looking all over for you. Otomi gave him an angry swat on the chest. For me? What are you talking about? You weren't waiting where you said you'd be. Yeah, because you went up to another floor. What do you mean? I went right where you said, on the second floor. Huh? This wasn't quite adding up. The second floor? What are you talking about? You went up to the third floor. No, I didn't. Wait, what? None of this makes any sense. Achi felt like his brain was getting scrambled. Well, anyway, at least I found you safe and sound. Yeah. The two smiled at one another. Look at her new outfit. What's with those clothes? Tomi's new outfit was completely different from the clothes she had on earlier. I tried on a few things, but wound up deciding on this. You tried on stuff on? Oh, okay. That explains it, Achi said. At least now things sort of made sense. That's nice, you know? What is? Your clothes. I mean, they look good on you. Thank you. Heh. Wow, I'm actually blushing now. It kind of makes me blush to say it. Achi and Otomi shyly avoided each other's eyes. Ship! Shibuya Scramble? No, it's because, like, everybody's scrambling, pretty much. Well, it's because of the thing. It's a magazine. Oh, so hey, Achi said, eager to change the subject. You still have that magazine? Oh, right, yeah. I was going to just throw it away, but I couldn't. How come? I haven't been able to find the right kind of receptacle. Newspapers and magazines are supposed to be kept separate from normal trash, right? Hitomi scanned their surroundings for a suitable bin. Wait, are you serious? Yeah. You're thinking about proper recycling now of all times? Is that weird? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. I think you might just be perfect. Oh! They're so cute. It's almost Valentine's Day, and they're gonna be in love, and it's gonna be great, and hearts, and we all need one thing for this occasion. We all need sheeple. We need sheeple. Sheeple love. Sheeple over the moon. Bye, Happy. Take it easy. Take it easy. I'm crazy, but it's adorable. But what about sheeple? Shipped him too much? True. So much ship. Achi found himself blushing even harder now. Tama! A sudden yell snapped him out of his embarrassment. The sketchy-looking fellow who'd given her the magazine was scampering down the stairs toward them. Great, Achi said. The weirdo's back. Speaking of which, Sparky is apparently back. Speaking of being back, I should say. Hi, Sparky. That was a weird segue. I'm sorry, but the weird... You have some bad timing, Sparky. You're not weird. I'm weird. Yannick Ishida's weird. Confusion. The man ignored him, though, and leaned in close to Otomi. No worries, Buggy Z. Take it easy. Take it easy. Ahaha! You do still have it! He snatched a magazine from Otomi's hands. Yes, this one hasn't been scratched off yet! The man hunkered down on the floor and began scratching away at a scratch card stamped into the centerfold. Wait! Don't let him have that! Another man came swooping out of nowhere and yanked the magazine away. It was the older fellow who had appeared in the elevator minutes before. You can't do that! That's mine! The sketchy-looking man clutched at the older newcomer. Let go! No way! I said let go! And I said no way! The two were fighting right in front of the exit, keeping Achi and Otomi from leaving. How'd you like this? The older man shouted, scratching away haphazardly at the ticket. Now just a worthless scrap of paper. Aha! My 100,000 yen! You mean my 100,000 yen? Ha 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 ha! Then the middle-aged fellow looked back down at the ticket. Wow. So, by the way, that's If you scratch 5 of those tickets, 5 of those symbols, you win 100,000 yen. That's how the scratch cards work. You can only scratch 5. God, what are the odds? Somehow in this ransom scratching, he'd happen to land himself a winner. That's the thing. That's bad luck. Because that's the guy that's in debt because of the scratch cards. That's why the debt collectors want Toyama. Give it! No way! The two men took off, enraged in a running battle for the ticket. So keep in mind, Yanagishita is in debt because he bought 2 million yen worth of Burning Hammer. And then keep in mind that Toyama is in debt because of the scratch cards being able to be seen through, which Tama found out, and people winning a bunch of money. What was the deal with those two? I'm not sure. Ben's coming on a game? True. Officer, I'd like to report. Bruh. Moment? True. Achi and Hitomi could only stand there dumbfounded. On the other hand, hey, look at the time! It's almost 3! Yeah, this game can get really confusing, like I said. The two headed hurriedly for the Gigo back entrance. But just as they were nearing the doors, the shutters dropped down in front of them. Whoa, what gives? Here, I can explain it for you guys in a little bit. Welcome back, Cheese. How's it going? Do you guys want me to go through a whole rundown of what the game has been like so far as true ending goes? So I can get you guys all up to speed? I can do that, because I know the game at this point. Due to maintenance, all entrances other than the main entrance on the first floor have been closed. We apologize for the inconvenience. Customers wishing to leave, please use the main entrance on the first floor. Ashi glared at the loudspeaker. It looked like there was no exit through the back after all. I've got a really bad preposition about this. You mean premonition? Hitomi had gotten quicker to butt in with her corrections. Holding onto their premonitions, then, the two hurried their way up through the stairwell. As Hitomi tried to head on out the first floor entryway, Achi yanked her back. Careful! What's the matter? It's that guy. Huh? Hitomi's expression stiffened. Slipping behind a nearby pillar, Achi pointed to the man with the cane who was keenly eyeing shoppers as they came and went. Well, this bites. No way we're getting out of with him there. Achi, Hitomi whispered in his ear. Behind us. Achi glanced back and saw the two goons walking in their direction. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If those two caused a scene like before, the assassin would notice them for sure. Uh-huh! The younger punk had spotted them. Damn it, Achi thought, gritting his teeth. Beep! But the thuggish pair let out a teensy squeak and then darted off in a different direction, vanishing from view. What the heck? Achi and Hitomi watched them go, unsure what to make of the sudden retreat. Well, anyway, Achi said after a moment. Now we can try to find another way out. Taking Hitomi by the hand, he headed back into the shopping area. No, Justin, I'll be there too. Don't worry. The back entrance of the first floor, that was a no-go. The other emergency exits were also locked down, which meant that the main entrance on the first floor really was the only choke point in their route. It was almost time for them to meet Cannon. They needed to find some way to bust out of here. The pair headed back toward the main entrance. Meow. Then they saw the man with the cane again heading in their direction. He hadn't seen them yet, but there was no way they'd avoid him if they didn't do something quick. Guess for now we gotta go up, Achi said to Hitomi. They started racing up the nearest escalator, which was descending from above. My bad, coming through! Sorry, please excuse us. They fought and shoved their way past a stream of people riding in the other direction. They could see the second floor now. Achi figured they'd be in the clear once they got there. Oh, it's cheery. But then a large woman appeared at the top of the escalator, heading down. She was the one who'd been in the Chinese restaurant on the 4th floor. The one who supposedly packed an entire buffet into her belly. She was wide enough that Achi and Hitomi would never be able to slip past her. Hey, out of the way, Achi shouted. But the young woman ignored him. Achi tried to push past, but he just bounced off her. They were drifting inevitably back down toward the first floor. It was like they were riding a conveyor belt that was delivering them right to the assassin. This was not good. If they didn't do something, soon they'd... Wait a sec. Something must have caught the assassin's eye. Achi saw him rush outside. Suddenly rush outside. There was no telling what had just happened, but now there was a chance to escape. Achi and Hitomi raced out the door. Outside, the man with the cane was nowhere to be seen. Looks like we're safe. Achi let out a sigh. For now, someone said, keep your eyes open. It's Cannon. Yo, Cannon looking nice. She's looking sweet. The sudden words made the two turn with a start. Cannon was standing right behind them. She'd gotten this close and neither of them had noticed a thing. She moved with all the skill of an assassin. Achi felt a chill shoot through him. To be continued? To be continued? Yeah! Yo, we're 2 for 2! We're 2 for 2! Alright, so chat, do you guys want an explanation of what's going on in the game right now? So that way I can explain it to you guys. I'll cover everything without any bad endings. So I'll cover it in about, it'll be like a 5-10 minute like kind of rundown. Okay? If that will help clear things up. I don't mind doing this. Like I said, I probably after like we stream this entire game, I'll make videos kind of like explaining how it goes. Like how each story is separately and how they intertwine. I'm gonna hope I can. I'm just editing and such, so. But I think it will give you guys at least a better idea of what happens, what's happening in this game, so that way you're caught up to speed. I'm trying to do my best to explain, but a lot of it is you just have to pay attention to the different pieces. I got a yes from Sparky. Cheese says I don't know. Cassie, I know, said that the game is confusing, so I can explain. Justin as well. I know Queen Cheese already knows, and so does Baba, because Queen Cheese and Baba have like been super hyper focused on this game. So I could explain it for you guys if you guys don't mind. Good. So I'll explain it here. So do a little bit of a rundown. What I'm gonna do is super duper. So what I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to do not that one, not that one. There should be. Listening? Cool. We watch so you're okay? Okay, so I'm gonna do explanation time. So that way, if somebody wants to timestamp this, it's gonna be the first point of explanation time. I prefer that somebody like in the comment when you crave fries instead you have rice, you were saying. So if somebody like during the VOD wants to timestamp when this is, I'd really appreciate it. It looks like that it's gonna be about 1 hour and 30 minutes in. So let's begin kind of how this goes. So the game starts beforehand. And once again, this is explaining everything up to this point, no bad endings, anything, to get you guys up to speed. So before the events of this game happen, Maria Osawa, who we find out is Tama, the person in the cat costume, is kidnapped by unknown assailants, but we know that they're foreigners demanding 50 million yen. Kano is a detective who is on a stakeout and gives Hitomi Osawa the 50 million yen to give to the kidnappers to free Maria, who is her sister. Kano and his detective partner Sasayama are on the stakeout, and they have to essentially just keep watch of Hitomi while this takes place. At the same time, we meet Achi, who is essentially a clean freak who is also a former gang member, a teen gang member, who also is around Hitomi at the time this interaction is supposed to take place between Hitomi and the kidnappers. What ends up happening is that Achi watches Hitomi give the kidnappers money, as well as Kano watches Hitomi give the kidnappers money. The detectives, Kano and Sasayama, chase after the man that the attache case with the 50 million yen was given to, while Achi realizes that Hitomi is in danger because there's a man with a cane with a pistol chasing after her. Achi goes to save Hitomi, and entirely Achi's timeline takes place with Hitomi next to him, and the two of them eluding the assassin as well as the men with the attache case trying to kill her. At the same time, Kano, who's the detective, is chasing after the men with the attache case, and his entire timeline is trying to get back the 50 million yen and trying to solve the mystery as to why the kidnappers want Maria and Hitomi. At this point, Hitomi and Achi stay safe until the man with the cane keeps finding them. something that is really consistent throughout this entire timeline is that the assassin, the man with the cane, always finds Achi and Hitomi. They have not been able to elude the assassin at all. When we get to the 11 o'clock hour, as everything is separated into hours, we meet our other three characters who we'll be going over in a bit. Still focusing on Kano, who's the detective. At this point, he is also dealing with a side story where he's trying to marry his girlfriend, who is the daughter of a famous detective, but the detective hates other detectives. He's been trying to bounce this back and forth while trying to deal with the case, and periodically he'll get interrupted while he's chasing after men with the attache case. He does find the men with the attache case and tries to trail them, only to find that the men with the attache case are seemingly going at random places, but they are all within Shibuya. Kano is purely going to be solely in Shibuya for the majority of this, as in Shibuya Scramble. And he learns that the men with the attache cases are bouncing back and forth, and he doesn't understand why they are still sticking to the same place when they can definitely leave to a different city. At the same time, you have Achi, who is still trying to defend Hitomi from the assassin, and really most of the 11 o'clock hour is Achi and Hitomi avoiding the assassin and trying to hide as much as they can. In the 11 o'clock hour with Achi and Hitomi are tasked with finding a blue minivan. When they find the blue minivan, Achi is the one who goes in close to see what happens, only to discover that there's kidnappers waiting inside to ambush them. Achi warns Hitomi in time, and they successfully escape the kidnappers in the 11 o'clock hour. During all of this, there are 3 different side stories happening, and these side stories at this time and for the next hour don't intermix with Kano and Achi's stories. You have Tama, who is a girl who is stuck in a cat costume with no memory of how she got in there, other than that she met a man named Yanagashita who hired her to get in the costume. She's selling a product called Burning Hammer alongside the chicken, who is Chiri, this woman who has an endless stomach. They find out that Tama's suit will not come off no matter what, as the zipper's busted. And the reason that Tama is working for Yanagashita to sell this fake product is to buy a necklace that she knows is hers and is important to her, but she doesn't know why. She takes the job and decides that she will sell Burning Hammer in order, aka the scam product, in order to buy the necklace. But at this point, she doesn't know why she needs the necklace. That's the first side story, but right now it doesn't intermix. At the same time, Osawa, who is the father of Hitomi, who is with Achi, and Maria, who we now know is Tama, is worried about his daughters, and he is a pharmaceutical engineer who is trying to create an antidote to something called the UA virus. For quick explanation on the UA virus, when you have it, after 12 hours, you start gushing blood out of your mouth, your eyes, your nose, your ears, your chest, like everywhere. You start just erupting into blood, and he's trying to stop that. However, at the same time while his daughters have been kidnapped, he's being blackmailed as he found out that somebody used his antidote and started using human testing with the UA virus, starting to kill people in South Africa. He doesn't know why, but he's trying to stop that from happening as well. We'll learn more about that later, but as for his main story for the 11 o'clock hour, it's pretty much him just being blackmailed and learning that he's a social outcast. He hates talking to people. There is a Kajiwara is a detective that's supposed to be tasked with watching over Osawa so he doesn't lose his mind, but Kajiwara is batshit insane and consistently torments Osawa unintentionally. And Osawa just keeps saying that he misses his daughters while also being irked by his wife, Ai, who doesn't give a shit that his daughters are missing. That's the second side story, and then the third side story is Minorikawa, who is a journalist who finds out that his former boss is about to commit suicide because he accidentally let a bunch of scratch cards in magazines be see-through so that people could easily win 100,000 yen. His company is almost bankrupt and debt collectors are after him. Norikawa saves his life and decides to take the task on himself to write the best issue of the magazine in order to get back funds to pay off the debts. Minorikawa has 5 different articles to write and tasks another freelance writer named Chiaki to write with him. Minorikawa's story from this point forward is solely about getting these stories and writing this piece. You'll see more of other characters as we go along Minorikawa's story, but he doesn't interact with them. But his main goal is to write this story by the end of the time limit, so that way Toyama doesn't get killed in debt, and that way that he can save his former boss. He does do a interview with Achi's father, finding out that Achi is the former leader of a gang called SOS, which is one of the stories that Minorikawa needs to write about. So he, at this point in the story, knows Achi exists and knows that he needs to get an interview with Achi at some point. We know this, but we don't know when this will happen. After that, he ends his interview and goes looking for the next story. Then we reach the 12 o'clock block. Going back to Kano once again detective guy who is trying to find the attache cases. He's still looking for the attache cases and goes over why he became a detective in the first place. He then works with his teammate Sasayama to try to corner one of the guys who has the attache case to take him down. He successfully takes him down, but with the help of an American named Jack Stanley, who comes out of nowhere and says that he's also included on the job. Kano now teams up with Stanley in order to figure out what's going on with this mystery, why Maria Osawa was kidnapped, why they needed the 50 million yen, and why this group of attache case thieves are not leaving Shibuya. In Achi's story, once again, he's still running there with Hitomi, and we go over more information about the former gang he was with, which is with SOS. He left the gang to his friends after quote-unquote betraying them to make them even better. He tries to get into a fight with them, but it doesn't work out too well. However, Hitomi then gets an email from Tanaka, who is her father's assistant, telling her that, her father's worried, where are you? And she informs him that she was told by the man who she gave the 50 million yen to that she cannot speak with her family or go to the police, and that she's with Achi. Tanaka relays this information to Osawa, since it doesn't break the rules of what Hitomi says, so Osawa at least knows one of his daughters is safe. In Achi's timeline, though, they continue evading the man with the cane who is trying to assassinate them, but Achi swears he hears his name being said by the assassin. He has no idea why the assassin knows his name, but knows that Hitomi is trying to be killed by the assassin. Then Achi explains to Hitomi why he cares so much about people, stating that his sister, who is in the hospital for a life-threatening disease, needs a new heart with a new blood type, which we don't go over yet. Let's see. His sister needs to be saved by a heart transplant, but no one has the heart that can handle it. He wants to help people in order to find somebody who can help her out, and thinks that good karma will help his sister live. But ultimately, the assassin catches up with them and tells Achi that Hitomi has to die and Achi can't get in the way. Yeah, I know. We'll get to that, Queen Cheese. In Tama's story is still a side story, and they're still trying to sell Burning Hammer, the scam product, so Tama can get the money to buy the necklace. Unfortunately, somebody took all the Burning Hammer, all the scam product away, so they go on the hunt to find it. Luckily, it suddenly appears right back as the recycling guy who accidentally took it returns it back. However, all of them have been knocked over and broken because in order to stop the assassin in Achi's timeline, Achi ended up throwing Burning Hammer at the assassin to slow him down. Currently, at this point in the story, Tama has no scam product to sell and is currently in risk of losing her money. That is what's happening there. Osawa, once again, the father of Hitomi and Maria, is still being conflicted about being trapped in his house by detectives as well as his assistant Tanaka, who seems to know a little more than what he's letting on at this point. Kajiwara then says that the bathroom is clogged for whatever reason, so Tanaka and Osawa go in to unclog it while Kajiwara goes out. After an interesting scene implying some wanted gay sex in the bathroom, Tanaka shows the email from Hitomi to Osawa, telling him that Hitomi is okay and with somebody safe. Osawa accepts this and decides to go and investigate in his own by going outside and just getting some fresh air. He wants to kind of clear his head and doesn't want to be around the detectives. When he goes outside, he actually runs into Minorikawa, the journalist, his boss, who is currently being chased by debt collectors, and hides them in his shed to keep them safe. He then goes back inside and investigates his wife's bookshelf because he feels like something is going on as his wife has left to go to a cafe. We'll get more on that later. When he goes to check the bookshelf, he finds that, for whatever reason, his wife seems to be very interested in Tanaka, his assistant, rather than himself. Osawa feels a little bit unnervous about this, so he tries to calm down by listening to his favorite artist, Amakamiki, who is just a really good musical artist. And then at the same time, we have Minorikawa here, the journalist, who is going to start writing his piece by going to a cafe. He goes to 3 different cafes before ending up at a cafe that, weirdly enough, has Kano, the detective's girlfriend, there, as well as Ai, who is Osawa's wife. But they don't interact at all. Minorikawa, though, meets Chiri and learns from Chiri that Chiri is a part of one of the interviews that he has to hold, and gets a map from her as to where to go. He then continues writing his story and then starts making his way over to take that interview. He though runs into his freelance writer Chiaki, who also has social anxiety, and she cannot talk to people, and he helps her overcome that social anxiety to start getting a story from her, and it's working out rather well. But that ends that hour. Now the most recent hour before what we're streaming right now. Starting off with Kano again, they're in pursuit of the attache cases still. That's, once again, their entire gist. They want to try to find the people with that attache case to see what's going on. They currently chase up over a guy named Al-Karawan, who is supposedly the leader of this group that has the attache case. They knock him out, and Kano then finds out that while in traffic, Takeno, who is his mentor, has set Al-Karawan, the leader of the attache case group, free. They go try to hunt him down, and Stanley, his American sidekick, can't chase up with Al-Karawan, and gets to Al-Karawan and gets him back to jail. They then find the hidden hideout of the people for the attache case, Al-Karawan's hideout, but discovers everyone dead on the floor with the last words, which this is going to be the one that we're going to go over in a bit. The last words of one of the dead people is Cannon. Who is this person? We'll get to that in a bit. Achi's story, once again, they're still just teaming up and trying to flee the assassin. Itsutomi and Achi are both leaving the area, and they come across a street fight where they're watching a cat, Tama, fight a cosplay boxer. Tama ultimately wins this fight because she finds out that in order to get back some product to potentially save this expo, this panel she's supposed to host, she has to beat a boxer in order to get the product back, which she does. Still going back to Achi, though, they hide in a storehouse and discover that there seems to be a play that's supposed to be happening in a short amount of time, and that this is a storehouse for that play. It seems the lead actor is coming down with a cold, and the producer is worried that the play will not be able to happen. So they're really worried about that. More may happen in this hour that we're on right now, but we'll go later. They still hide in the storeroom, and currently nobody finds them, but they discover that the assassin somehow has entered the storeroom and found them, but does not know what's going on. While the assassin's kind of outside and pursuing back and forth, Achi talks about her sister's illness and says that a really rare type of blood, Bombay blood, is needed to save her life, and that he has not met anybody who has that blood. More on that later. As the assassin enters the storeroom, they both slip out, only to run into one of the attache case members, who Kano has been trailing, but the attache case man gets knocked out by Cannon, who is an assassin from the Middle East that is tasked with saving Maria. On Tama's timeline, once again, she is in a street box fight. She gets the product back and goes to the panel to sell the product. Unfortunately, it's found out that the product is a scam after questions from Minorikawa, who also goes to the panel to get an interview. That's pretty much Minorikawa's entire part right here, is he goes to the panel to get the interview as well. After it's been exposed as a scam, the entire panel goes down, and Tama is then given money by Yanagashita for helping him out in order to buy the necklace. When she decides to go to the store to buy the necklace, she finally gets the outfit off, revealing that she's Maria, the first person who was kidnapped by the attache case members. Going to Minorikawa's real quick, because it's still regarding the expo, he goes to the expo, the panel, to get an interview there, but discovers that after it's been a scam, it gets completely torn to shreds. He holds an interview with Yanakashita about it to get his second story, and then learns of a detective, some corruption in the detective department, possibly making another story. He decides to write more about it and tries to call Chiaki to get more info on her story, only to discover that his laptop is dead and he has no way of writing his next story to save Toyama. Still don't know more about that. And then finally Osawa's timeline. Osawa meets with his boss to discuss the blackmailing emails about human experimentation with the antidote that's causing people to die within 12 hours to the UA virus. His boss reveals that, oh my gosh, the boss has openly ignored Osawa's orders and started using human experimentation just to prove that they can kill a bunch of people using the antidote, and uses it as bait to stop Osawa from taking a new job. Osawa reluctantly stops taking the new job and continues working on the antidote while his boss says that if he fucks up, more people will die to the antidote and more people will die to the UA virus. Osawa does also ask his boss if he's involved with the kidnapping of his daughters, but he says no, he's only involved in making as much money as possible and will kill innocent people to do so with the UA virus. Osawa then meets with his wife, and wife stuff happens, and Osawa then discovers that the detectives have bug trackers everywhere to discover listening devices around the room in case people are trying to listen in on listen on private conversations. Osawa is given a defective one by accident, and Kajiwara, the detective watching over him, essentially apologizes for giving him a broken one and decides to make it up for him by cooking him lunch. Osawa learns how to cook lunch for the first time ever, even though he's like a 40-year-old man, but he learns how to cook lunch for the first time, only to be interrupted by his assistant Tanaka, where Kajiwara's bug tracker starts going off. Kajiwara reveals that his bug tracker actually works and that Tanaka has a listening device on him, hinting him as a betrayer from within the household. That's everything on the 1300 hour. Now we're on the 1400 hour, and essentially what has happened in the two timelines, and these two are intermingled now, is that Hitomi and Maria now being Tama out of the cat outfit, go to a store and together to two separate reasons. Maria goes there to get a new change of clothes in order to figure out more about her, while Hitomi goes there to hide from the assassin. They both get confused by Yanakashita as well as the debt collectors, causing everyone to become afraid of Maria because Maria is kicking everybody's ass. Achi still protects Hitomi to the end and is able to elude the assassin in order to save Hitomi, only to discover Cannon waiting for them after a meeting that she discussed to have at 3 o'clock, 1500. Tama, on the other hand, eludes the debt collectors enough, but gets caught by the attache case men that are hunting Hitomi, not Maria. And since she got caught by the attache case men, they find out that she has amnesia, which was not part of their plan. We don't know their plan just yet, but apparently Maria having amnesia is a big hindrance to their plan. As a result, the assassin suddenly that's chasing Hitomi finds Maria instead of Hitomi and chases the two men with the attache cases away, but saying that Hitomi has to die. He has no idea that's Maria, but that's where we are right now. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. I know it's like kind of a lot of different timelines. The way you want to think of it right now, for those who are new to the series, is that everything in this game is currently just on their own. The only time things have intermingled has currently been this 1400 hour, where Maria and Achi's stories are intermingled, because Hitomi and Maria are twins, and people are getting confused by them. Other than that, all these other stories just need to be by themselves. It's a mystery story, exactly. That was long, but it was a nice refresher. I hope it was a good refresher. And like I said, I do plan on making videos, probably 6 videos of this, and hopefully I have enough time to do such, where I cover each individual story, because nobody really has. I want to cover each individual story just on their own and just talk about what happens in each one to bring those up to speed, and then a 6th video talking about every intermingle between the two. So that way it at least clears up how the stories intermingle and how things work, and how one thing can lead to another. The whole purpose of this game, though, is based on the choices. You can cause bad endings, but what I just explained is so far the good ending, where no choices have affected any others. That's where we're at right now. Anyway, with that being said, we are kind of running low on time, so I'm going to start going to Kano's story, and if we get to a bad ending, not a keep out, but if we get to a bad ending, we will stop the stream at that point, and we will finish up the 1400 block tomorrow. So let's talk about Cannon, who killed all of the men with the attache case. Cannon, Kano muttered. What's Cannon? The stench of blood hung heavy in the basement bar. Stanley was silent, staring at the criminal's corpse. Hey, do you know anything about this? Kano asked. Still, Stanley gave no response. The silent treatment again, huh? Kano huffed. The American glanced at him gravely. In all likelihood, the one who did this was acting alone. Alone against this many other people? Who on earth? There's no need for you to know. Cut the crap, Kano snapped. He grabbed Stanley by the collar. If there's someone involved in this case who's capable of something like this, I need to know about it. How am I supposed to do my job if you keep me in the dark? Stanley remained stone-faced. Look, I'm not afraid of the risks, Kano said, and I'll be a lot more effective if you at least fill me in on the basics here. The more you know, the sooner you'll wind up dead. The Kano tightened his grip. But it's okay if I wind up dead while I'm still in the dark, huh? Fine, Stanley said. I'll answer your first question. He brushed Kano's arm aside. Cannon is the name of a covert operative from the Middle East. In simple terms, a type of spy that infiltrates hostile territory to carry out various clandestine activities. I believe she's the one who killed these people here. The Middle East? A covert operative? Kano hadn't expected spycraft to be involved with this. Yes, she's an assassin and a cryptanalysis specialist. Do you recall the mass jailbreak from Abu Ghraib prison a while back? A prison in Iraq west of Baghdad. Under the Hussein government, it was an internment facility for political prisoners, but following the Iraq War, it was used by the US Army to house prisoners of war. In April of 2004, photographs of detainees being tortured by US soldiers were released, causing a massive scandal. President Bush later made the decision to have the facility demolished. Cannon was the one who provided the intel the escapees used to get out. Kano was at a loss for words. The case was suddenly starting to seem a whole lot more sinister. Whoever this Cannon was, she apparently killed nearly a dozen people with only a knife. She was clearly no one to trifle with. Just what kind of individual were they dealing with here? He could scarcely imagine. Once again, Kano surveyed the crime scene. Each of the murdered criminals had his throat slit. From the look of the deep, clean cuts, the killer hadn't hesitated in the slightest. Okay, so what does this Cannon have with the mastermind behind this kidnapping? If Cannon had killed all of the foreign syndicate members in this bar, did that mean that Shibuya and the prisoners behind the kidnapping were enemies? Or perhaps she and the kidnapper were working in concert and she carried out their slayings as part of some plan to get rid of some loose ends? I believe I said I'd answer one question. Turning away, Stanley picked up a file from atop a nearby table. Apparently he wasn't in the sharing mood. Realizing that further questions would be pointless, Kano peered sidelong as the file Stanley had opened it. Inside was a detailed map of Shibuya. There were various routes marked with arrows and times. That's the plan for the ransom relay. Kano was so excited he blurted his thoughts out loud. It appeared that the ultimate goal for the ransom was a condominium. The address and the time, 1420, were written in red ink. Kano put in an immediate call to the investigation task force to relay this information. Good stuff. The final destination is Ground Hill number 405 in the Hero 5-34 Shibuya.
Alright, Kuze told him. We'll look into who owns the condo in question. You and Stanley head over there now. I'm sending back up to go in with you. You have authorization to apprehend the suspect.
Finally hearing the order that he'd so long been waiting for, Kano felt a spark of determination flare inside him. Alright, let's go, he said, some of his excitement slipping into his voice. Stanley, still solemn, closed the file and followed him out of the bar. Cool. Also, we don't need explanation time anymore. Stanley drove along Inkoshira Dori toward Hiru, where the finish line for the ransom relay was located. His demeanor was cold and brooding, in sharp contrast with Kano's gung-ho readiness. He seemed lost in some deep and cheerless thoughts. There's Minorikawa on a bike. You guys, that bike guy on the bike is Minorikawa. Kuze's voice came in over the wireless as the car came out of Mijidori. We've identified the owner of the condominium. It's... Kano held his breath in anticipation. The name Kuze spoke caught him by surprise entirely. Well, that's not a bad ending. I know the house. Tanaka's listening device. It's Tanaka's house. I do not want others intruding into my domain. Accordingly, I do not intrude on others. This is how I've lived my life. This is how I forge my sense of calm. But something has begun to drive me mad. The boundaries between myself and others have started to collapse. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I will become something other than myself, and that is one thing I fear I can never bear. Oh no, you don't! Kajiwara tackled Tanaka as he strode toward the door. The two men collapsed in a heap in front of an entryway. Hey, Tanaka barked. What are you doing? Hold still. Kajiwara ran his bug tracker over Tanaka's body. They began beeping loudly. Aha! Kajiwara pulled off Tanaka's necktie clip. It's a listening device. Tanaka's face went pale. Where did you get this? Kajiwara demanded. Well... Tanaka trailed off in silence. I gave it to him. It was I who had appeared on the second floor landing. You were listening in? Osawa asked brokenly. Ma'am, Kajiwara said, would you mind explaining this? For once he seemed deadly serious. I was barely able to hear a thing. That's what I get for going with something so cheap. I held out a dangling earpiece. When and where did you get that? Earlier today. We'll have to do some shopping. And why did you plant a listening device on Mr. Tanaka? Kajiwara asked. That's what I want to know, Tanaka chimed in. Why would you do this, Mrs. Osawa? He was trembling. You were outside emailing someone earlier, weren't you, Mr. Tanaka? I saw you from the window. Emailing? Kajiwara looked into Tanaka's face. I nodded. He came back into the house shortly afterward and asked him where he'd gone. And what do you think he said, She was practically gloating, playing to her little audience. She began stalking down the stairs. He said he'd gone to check on something at the lab, despite the fact that he was out in the yard there fiddling with his phone the whole time. So I figured if I bugged him, he might show his true colors and... Enough. Osawa cut his wife off. Tanaka had been emailing Katomi, of course, but he couldn't reveal that now. I think I get what happened here, Kajiwara interposed. He folded his arms. Your wife thought that Mr. Tanaka was in contact with the kidnappers, and so she planted a listening device on him. The detective peered at Tanaka. Who were you emailing, sir? Yes, that's right, I chirped. Show us your phone, Mr. Tanaka. Let's see what you're really up to. Or is there some reason you don't want to show us? Osawa started to panic. If the police checked the cell phone, they'd find the emails from Mitomi, and if the kidnappers somehow found out about that, Maria's life would be in danger. But I was still relentlessly advancing on Tanaka. Stop this. Darling? She turned to him in surprise. Tanaka was sending emails on my behalf, Osawa said. I asked him to do it. And just who was he emailing? It was... You need to think of a lie fast. It was me, it was someone from work, it was Pretty Honey. Pretty Honey it is! It was Pretty Honey. The room went silent. Wait, what did you say? Kajiwara asked after a long, awkward moment. Honey, Osawa replied meekly. My apologies, I didn't quite catch that one. One more time. Pretty Honey. Osawa's voice was scarcely audible. Pretty Honey? I asked, sounding ashamed on his behalf. Who's that? Osawa felt his cheeks burning. Of all the names he might have chose, why had he picked that one? Who is it, sir? Kajiwara demanded. He regarded Osawa's face keenly. A personal associate of mine. You wouldn't know them. But why ask Tanaka to send the messages? Kajiwara asked. Don't you have a computer in your study? Couldn't you have sent the emails yourself? My computer was having problems sending email. I'm not sure what the issue was. Look, the point is there's no reason to worry about Tanaka's email. Now, I assume we're done here. I need Tanaka to run some errands for me. With that, Osawa opened the front door. Tanaka gave him a quick bow and headed out the door. Hey, wait! I started to go after him. Just calm down, Osawa barred the way. There's no way he's connected to the kidnappers. Can't you see that? His voice cracked and he shuddered at the sudden rush of emotion. There, sir, Kajiwara said consolingly. She's just deeply worried about your daughter. I turned around and marched back upstairs. Interesting. But wait, but he knocked out Maria! But still.
But still, if she's that worried, giving a tie clip as a gift seems a bit.
Clothing accessory meant to hold one's necktie in place. In the old days, they were a quintessential part of the salaryman's outfit along with cufflinks and the company badge. Recently, tie clips have come back into vogue with some older men, now more frequently referred to as tie bars. Kajiwara's muttering trailed off. What do you mean? Osawa asked.
Nothing. Nothing important.
The detective waved a hand dismissively, but there had been a definite note of suspicion in his voice. Interesting. Kajiwara is smart, though. Well, back to work. Kajiwara headed back into the living room. Osawa returned to his study and sat in front of his computer. He had no desire to be in the presence of the detectives who had now crowded his living room. The Ayakamiki fan forum for people 40 and over was still open on his monitor. He reloaded the page and saw that his earlier thread had gotten a reply. It was from Pretty Honey, a regular contributor to Osawa's threads. Yo! We found out who Pretty Honey is. Let's go. Username was someone who posts regularly on the Ayakamiki fan forum. Seems to know a lot about agriculture and the police, as evidenced by statements such as if the world were a farm with 100 people, as well as the tendency to post to another site called the 87th Precinct Telecommunity. Incidentally, Shinya Kano's girlfriend Rumi also posts on the 87th Precinct Telecommunity from time to time. She has had several massive arguments with Pretty Honey there, with the latter criticizing the police for not doing their job, while Rumi insists that police work is very difficult and deserves more credits. Wait, are we gonna get the keep out? Yo, we got the keep out! It's Tanaka's house, isn't it? We have identified the owner of the condominium. It's Mamoru Tanaka. Wait, that's his assistant. That's not Tanaka's house, that's his assistant. What? Hey, Queen Cheese. Or not Queen Cheese, cheese. There's so many cheeses, I'm sorry.
He's a colleague of Kenji Osawa.
What? Kano squawked? This was an unexpected twist.
Kajiwara confirms that Tanaka left the Osawa residence just after 1400 hours. No word on his movement since then. It's possible he's headed to his private condo, where the attache case is slated to end up. Any officer who runs across Tanaka is to apprehend him on sight.
Kuze cut the connection. This mastermind you've been chasing, Kano asked. Is it Tanaka? Stanley didn't reply. Fine, never mind. I just wish I could know if Tateno was safe. Still worried about the traitor, huh? So Stanley could ignore all of his questions, but still remember to make snide remarks. Talking about Tateno is the only thing that gets a reaction out of you, isn't it? Kano snorted. What makes you so certain he can't be a traitor? Tateno just isn't like that. That's not an answer, Stanley scoffed. Alright, I've watched the man work for years. I know him. He has no reason to betray the Force. You've watched him work, huh? What about his private life, then? You know all about that, too. He hasn't had money trouble or anything like that. Kano felt his blood starting to boil. I don't care what you think, he said. I trust Detective Tateno. Trust him? On what basis? I don't need any basis to have faith in someone, Kano snapped. Without any basis in fact, it's just plain sentimentality, Stanley said. There's no reason or logic to it. A thin smile came to his face. Be they friends or family, you can never really know other people. The only person you can trust is yourself. Kano had no response for such an emotionless statement. He looked away. He and Stanley were just plain incompatible. It seemed like no amount of talking would let them get through to one another. Never take anything at face value, Kano. You start trusting too much, you're basically as good as dead. Kano just stared out the window. Well, damn. The Shibuya precinct came into view. Tanaka's condo wasn't much further now. But Tanaka goes to the Gigo building, right? They're outside of Tanaka's condo now. Over there, Stanley said, keeping his voice down. Across the street was one of the foreign syndicate members. Walking briskly, the attache case clutched at his side. I'm making the arrest. Kano, wait! Sorry. Kano, wait! Stanley exclaimed. Kano heard him loud and clear, but he had no intention of stopping. He approached with the criminal at full speed, then leapt to tackle him around the waist. The two men fell to the pavement in tangled heap. The collision sent the attache case flying. Kano's eyes tracked the case for a moment too long. He was caught off guard when the man threw a punch at him. The blow caught him right in the jaw, snapping his head back. For a moment, Kano saw stars. As he shook off the impact, the man sprang to his feet and sprinted away in the direction of Stanley's car. Stanley! Kano shouted. Grab him! Get the case! Grab him! But Stanley ignored the man and instead went for the attache case. Oh, come on, really? Kano had no choice but to pursue the perp himself. He hadn't come this far just to let the crooks get away now. Suddenly, the fleeing man skidded to a stop. Several cars had pulled across the road ahead, and detectives were pouring out of them. His escape route cut off, the criminal resigned himself to capture. Dude, that guy looks like he's a hobo. While Kano helped make the arrest, several of the other detectives broke into Tanaka's condo. Uh-oh. What's in the case? Stanley, meanwhile, was carefully inspecting the exterior of the attache case. He'd already opened it. It was stuffed with bundles of banknotes. The 50 million yen ransom was back in police hands. Yo, we got it back! Let's go! This is a decoy, the American muttered under his breath. I wonder where. What? His words trailed off, but Kano had heard them. What did you expect? The detective demanded. Samples of the new drug in there? As usual, Stanley gave no reply. The look on his face, however, told Kano he'd been right on the mark. Some of the backup team emerged from Tanaka's condo. Kano turned to them, feeling a sudden surge of anxiety for Maria. What's the situation in there? He asked. They told him that they found no one in Tanaka's rooms, so the hostage's status remained unknown, and the main culprit had evaded capture. This case hadn't been solved. In fact, it was still unfolding in the worst way conceivable. And still, Stanley remained focused on the attache case, pondering it with a thoughtful expression. Look, Kano told him, I'm going to request that I be returned to my normal duties. Maria still needs to be rescued, and I still need to find out what happened to Hitomi and Detective Tateno. For once, Stanley actually responded. Hitomi? Yes, that's it! It makes perfect sense that they'd have her carry it. Huh? What do you mean? This whole attache case relay was a fake-out. Whoa, slow down, Kano said, wishing he could calm himself with his words. Explain what you're talking about. Somehow the kidnappers made contact with Kenji Osawa. Got him to have Hitomi carry the drug, separate from the ransom. Wait, you're saying they had Hitomi bring them the drug? Stanley nodded. So by the way, they're saying that these guys are also passing back and forth drugs. The case handoffs were a standard of camouflage, a way for them to keep the police distracted from the real goal. Kano nodded. It had indeed felt like the case relay was a decoy, an attempt to buy time. If the syndicate were after something else entirely, they would explain why so many of their actions had appeared to make no sense. So, Kano asked, what sort of drug is this? Why would they go to such lengths to get their hands on it? It's an antiviral, Stanley replied after some hesitation. A way to cure people infected with a very particular virus. What virus are we talking about? It's called UA. And the drug in question is Osawa's drug. Kano never heard of it. Still, he can imagine the possibilities. Suppose this UA virus was something like the Ebola virus. Discovered in Sudan in 1976, infection causes Ebola hemorrhagic fever, resulting in high fever and massive bleeding throughout the body. At present, there is no vaccine to prevent infection, nor any drug to cure the disease after it manifests. Or perhaps HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. HIV destroys the cells that are essential for regulating cell-mediated immunity, considerably reducing immune response. This effect can result in infections that would ordinarily be fought off easily developing into serious illness. There are various treatments, but as of yet, nothing that will eradicate the virus completely, aka AIDS. Safe sex, everybody. Even the all-too-familiar influenza, the infectious disease caused by the influenza virus, symptoms are similar to that of the common cold, but are much more severe, occasionally resulting in death. There are three main types of the virus, A, B, and C, with A and B causing the typical run of the illness in humans. Neuraminidase is recommended as an effective inhibitor, but this merely alleviates the symptoms and is not a complete cure. By the way, please make sure you guys are getting your flu shots if you haven't already. Like, please, please, please. It's flu season right now. People are getting sick. I think it's been reported that at least in the States, over 10,000 people have passed from the flu this year so far, and it's only been a month and a bit. Please, please, please get your flu shots. If you're worried about the flu and you're feeling sick, please take medicine. Please, please, please make sure you're staying healthy, okay? There are medicines that can treat all of those diseases, but nothing that can cure them completely. Any drug that can do that would be worth vast sums of money. Kano, do you have any means of getting into touch with Mr. Osawa? Yes, I know of one of the detectives stationed at his home. Check in with him ASAP. Find out whether or not he gave the antiviral to Hitomi. Kano suppressed a scowl. It looked like he wasn't done assisting Stanley yet. He got out his cell phone and dialed up Kajiwara. See, things are starting to intermingle, guys. Things are starting to intermingle. Kajiwara picked up promptly. Kano, what's going on? Could I speak with Mr. Osawa? I suppose that'd be alright. What for, though? There's something you need to confirm to me. It's an emergency. Alright, just make sure not to tell him anything about the investigation. Sure thing. After a while, a man's hoarse voice came over the line. Osawa speaking. Can I help you? This is Detective Kano from the Shibuya precinct. Time is critical, so I need to just cut to the chase here. Kano took a deep breath. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? Osawa let out a gasp. Should probably do it. I'll still be an anti-vaxxer. True. Wait, we don't know yet? We don't know? That's foreboding. This is foreboding. This is so foreboding. Below the page installed as earlier thread got applied. I'm pretty hungry. Yeah. Alright, let's see. I'm opposed to the idea of Ayakamiki expanding into America. She should be able to enjoy the success she's earned in Japan without having to struggle overseas. Aya has done so much for us. I'd like her to keep supporting Japan forever. The message was festooned with the sort of emoticons that a young girl might use. Pretty Honey claimed to be a 19-year-old female college student. Although the community was meant for Ayakamiki fans 40 and over, the settings allowed anyone to post there. The only young woman among the members, however, was Pretty Honey. The thread continued. By the way, have you tried the Aya fortune teller yet? There's a link below. Fortune telling? Huh? The practice of determining a person's future luck or life events using cards, horoscopes, and other methods of divination. Most people believe such prognostication when it foretells something good and don't believe it when the outlook is bad. That's about as much faith in fortune telling as someone should have. Unlucky. Well, sorry guys, we're unlucky. What about this time? I believe in my luck! Oh. I have faith this time! I know we can be lucky! Let's go! Alright, one more time. I'm feeling lucky. Fourth time's the charm. I believe it. I believe it. Fifth time's the charm. Fifth time. Let's go. I got this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Six times the charm? I mean, sometimes it might work. I think this video might be random. I'm totally thinking it's gonna be random. Seven times the charm. You know, lucky number 7. 777. Got it. Let's go. Maybe number 8. Listen, I got a sheeple this time. Sheeple is gonna give me luck. Alright, this one, number 9. 9's a good number. Good looking number 9. Number 9. I swear, this is probably random, and I'm now lucky 9 times in a row. I get the feeling. Number 10. Number 10. Please be the luck. Give me the luck. Give me the luck. 10 times and always unlucky. It'll never happen. Osawa stared. Should he ask whether Maria was safe? If it gave him a good answer, he'd believe it. If it were a bad answer, he wouldn't. It might be worth a shot just for the peace of mind it'd bring. He clicked the link and the Aya fortune-telling page came up. It asked you to enter your birth date and sex, and then Ayakamiki would offer her advice. Osawa followed the instructions, entering his date of birth, selecting male, and then clicking next. A few seconds later, his fortune was displayed. You're a very work-minded person. He hoped for some insight on Maria, but instead it was just a write-up about his personality. You'll never be able to get by without the devoted support of those around you, but you probably don't realize that, do you? It's a big mistake to think you can get through all of this life's challenges on your own. There's nothing cool about being ignorant. If you don't get over your indifference to the world might start to harbor quite a grudge. Find a way to connect more deeply with the people around you and start living a better life before it's too late. Just do that and you're sure to have a wonderful future ahead. Famous people who got your result. Shinosuke Orai. Wrong button. The head of the Wandering Angels Theater Troupe. He has an interview appointment with Minoru Minorikawa at 2:30 this afternoon, which we'll see that probably next stream. Osawa couldn't help but feel that the advice was painfully appropriate. He went back to the fortune and replied to Pretty Honey. Nice to hear from you again, pretty honey. I definitely know how you feel about Ayakamiki being ours. Still, I'm confident she's got what it takes to persevere and succeed in America. And if she does fail, well, all of us in Japan will be here to welcome her back all the same. Guess this voyage to America I've concocted just has me a little worked up. Did I? Possibly, Queen Cheese, possibly. Osawa clicked post and leaned back in his chair. Mr. Osawa! Mr. Osawa! It's Kajiwara shouting from outside the door. First the toilets, then lunch. What is it now? There's been a development in the case. Please join us in the living room. We have important matters to discuss. Kajiwara had his detective face on. Interesting. Oh, it's I. When Osawa entered the living room, I was already there, looking stern and solemn. Now that you're both here, Kajiwara said, allow me to share what we know. We've identified a location that appears to be the Syndicate's hideout. You have? What about Maria? Is she there? Osawa exclaimed. We still haven't been able to ascertain whether your daughter is safe. Well then, what were these important matters you needed to discuss? Osawa felt a wave of anxiety rush through him. The hideout in his question is a condominium in Hiru, and it's owned by... By whom? Mr. Osawa, please calm down. Tell me! Go on, out with it! Kajiwara took a deep breath. The residence is owned by Mamoru Tanaka. Osawa was speechless. He couldn't process what he was hearing. Tanaka? Lies, I shrieked. Just what are you implying? That Mr. Tanaka is the kidnapper? Where's your proof? With all due respect, ma'am, weren't you suspicious of Mr. Tanaka yourself? I suppose, but you did go so as far as to stick a listening device on him. Flustered, I withdrew into a vacant silence. The sudden ringing of the phone startled everyone in the room. Was that Tanaka? No, it couldn't be. There was no way. The phone was wiretapped. The detective wearing the headset nodded to Kajiwara, who in turn motioned for Osawa to pick up. Hello? He said cautiously. Ah, hello. Is this the home of Maria Osawa? The voice was not Tanaka's. Osawa didn't recognize it, but the veil of despair that hung before him thinned slightly. Is this the home of Hitomi Osawa? This time the man on the phone used Hitomi's name instead. Yes, that's right. The caller immediately hung up. What? As Osawa stood there dumbstruck, Kajiwara gently took the receiver and hung up the phone. One of the detectives addressed Kajiwara. We've traced the source of the call to a cell phone. Also, we pinpointed the base station used. Informed Director Kuze so that he can prepare a team just in case. Just in case? Osawa asked. What do you mean by that? Kajiwara frowned slightly. Just because this is a kidnapping case doesn't mean that every cell phone call comes from the kidnapper. We'll look into it, of course, but... I see. Besides, right now, confirming Mr. Tanaka's whereabouts takes priority. Don't you agree? Osawa nodded. Someone should call him, the detective added. I'll do it. Sorry, I'll do it. I got out her cell phone and dialed up Tanaka. Okay. Where was Mr. Tanaka headed? Kajiwara asked. He eyed Osawa keenly. To work, I sent him to pick up documents. I don't actually know. I'd say to work. To work. I sent him to pick up some documents. A necessary lie. If Tanaka was behind the kidnapping, Osawa knew he ought to tell the police about the blue minivan and the emails from Hitomi. But still, he just couldn't believe that his assistant really was the culprit. We have investigators en route to Tanaka's condominium, Kajiwara said. Let's wait for them to report in. On the far side of the room, I was squawking in frustration. Despite several attempts, she hadn't been able to get through to Tanaka. Uh-oh. Kajiwara's phone rang and he pulled it from his pocket. Kano, what's going on? They're starting to intermix! They're starting to intermix! He headed into one corner as he spoke into the receiver. I suppose that'd be alright. What for, though? After a few more quiet words, Kajiwara held his phone out to Osawa. One of the investigators on the scene would like to speak with you. Frowning in confusion, Osawa took hold of the phone. Osawa speaking, can I help you? This is Detective Kano from the Shibuya Precinct. Time is critical, so I just need to cut to the chase here. There was a pause as the speaker took a deep breath before continuing. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? What? Osawa was so startled that his voice caught in his throat. What are you talking about? The antiviral research was top secret, so how did some detective from the Shibuya Precinct know about it? Keep out. Let's see what happens. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter, Hitomi? Osawa let out a gasp. What are you talking about? I'm the one asking the questions here, Mr. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand your question. Osawa's voice trembled as he spoke. Kano was sure he hit the nail right on the head. I know what the Syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. It's the virus, it's you, it's Hitomi. It's the virus. Osawa remains silent. Mr. Osawa, is everything alright? The line went dead. Technically, that's incorrect, Stanley muttered. Let's go to Osawa now. Osawa's losing his mind right now. Oh my goodness. What? Osawa's so sorry. What are you talking about? Antiviral research side some detective finished. Osawa's bewildered. I'm the one asking the questions here, Mr. Osawa. Did you give the antiviral drug to your daughter Hitomi? I'm not sure I understand the question. I know what the Syndicate is really after, Mr. Osawa. Osawa's mind went blank when he heard what Kano said next. He could give no reply. Mr. Osawa, the detective continued after a moment. Is everything alright? Without really thinking, Osawa hung up. They were after the virus? Did he mean that the UA virus kept at the lab? Wait, hold on. The detectives had to be wrong about that. The kidnappers must have the UA virus already. Otherwise, I wouldn't have had to do what I did to Hitomi. Hitomi has the antiviral. He actually did. He actually did. Do not look away. These are your crimes. At last, Osawa understood what those emails from A were all about. They were a preview of the tragedy that was yet to unfold. The kidnappers probably meant to start the main event soon. It might already be too late to stop them. Mr. Osawa, Kajiwara asked, are you alright? The detective gazed with concern into Osawa's ashen face. Bracing himself, Osawa spoke up, his voice hoarse and dry. A killer virus is about to be unleashed in Tokyo, and I know who's responsible. It's me. The sudden confession caused the detectives on site to stir like a hornet nest. Please, arrest me. Feeling the weight of his crimes crushing down on him, Osawa dropped his gaze to the floor. He held out both of his wrists. I'll tell you everything down at the station, he said. Anything you need to know. Osawa imagined bodies dropping left and right. There were limits to what might be cured by the small stockpile of antiviral his lab currently contained. If they were unable to quarantine the infected in time, then Shibuya, no, all of Japan might be engulfed in a pandemic that the drug could never stop. The Japandemic is a massive outbreak of a particular infection on a regional or global scale. In 14th century Europe, a massive cholera outbreak is said to have killed 2/3 of the population, and a Spanish flu outbreak in the early 20th century killed at least 25 million people worldwide. Given modern advances in transportation, some researchers are of the opinion that the global risk of the pandemic is higher than ever before. He could only hope that his complying with the authorities might help stop the spread of the infection before it was too late. But I think this is a bad end. I think we told him the wrong thing. Yo, live action? That's a plane. The thought of the UA virus devastating Japan filled Osawa with despair. Blaming himself, he asked to be arrested. But this only happened because of what Kano said to him. A simple error in word choice led Osawa to a completely wrong conclusion. Kano ought to properly inform Osawa just what the kidnappers are after. Damn. True. This is a weird tie-in, I suppose. That's crazy. Jesus Christ. So much cool stuff in this game happening. Alright. Well, with that, That's gonna be it for the stream. I got another bad ending. This 1400 block, let me tell you, it's a lot happening. It's a lot happening. I would like to say though, we are more than halfway done with the game, I will say. So we should be done probably by the end of February, but damn, this is crazy. So, to let you guys know what we have coming up. Oops, didn't mean to press that. To let you know what we have coming up, later today we are going to be playing Monster Prom with Cube and potentially 1 or 2 other people. I'm still trying to work it out because there's been some cancellations and just some crazy stuff, but we will be playing Monster Prom in about an hour. And then we have another collab with Kalik for Splatoon 2. For some reason this escaped my mind. But we will be playing some Splatoon 2. I think we're doing league battles because he's going to try to teach me how to play better. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then we might have a Dead by Daylight stream super late at night. So we will see. Hey, Dark Pit, you just got to the end of the stream. My apologies there. But we will be streaming once again in about an hour or so at 2 o'clock. Can you join? For league battles, it's just going to be him and I, but we might do private battles after. We will see what we're going to be doing. It's going to be a collab between both of us, though. So it's going to be a fun time. But yeah, Monster Prom is going to be the next stream. And then I have a few things to record. I'm hoping I can also get an update video. A really, really cool announcement update video for you guys on Sunday. So it's going to be fun. We have a lot of stuff to do today. It is going to be great. But anyway, with that being said, I do thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you guys enjoyed 428 Shibuya Scramble. I hope my explanation did explain a whole lot. And like I said, I'm going to hopefully make videos on this to explain the story. It's going to be pretty crazy. But with that, have a wonderful day, night, morning, afternoon, and or evening. My name's Katafi. I'll see you guys next time for more Variety Gaming. See you guys later. Peace. Bye, everyone.